Chapter 2603, Evil God Mountain. Chapter 2603, Evil God Mountain. Author. Silent Rogue. The Star Watchers had been reborn from another world. The Sniper King of the realm, the Supreme Saint Soul Lord of the War God's bloodline, the archaic dragon elephant conjuration, was cultivating crazily. You can search for The Pride of the World in Baidu. www.sashu.com. Looking for the latest chapter. Chen Xiang planned to walk outside Divine Spirit Place to check on the situation inside. Evil Dragon Prince had suffered greatly, and even the Thunder Cauldron had been injured by him. He did not know how it was currently. The Too Strong of Divine Wasteland were not someone he could deal with, but he felt that he could still deal with someone at the level of the Evil Dragon Princess. As he was flying through the air, he suddenly saw two black dots below him. Below was a green GRAS land with two abrupt points that were easy to discover, and Chen Xiang's vision was very good, so he was able to immediately see that those 2 points were the Strong of Divine Wasteland that injured him earlier. They are actually here. Could it be that they stopped halfway to cure the poison? Chen Xiang was shocked, and was considering whether or not he should go down and take a look. Because he had been severely injured by these two extremely strong fellows before, Chen Xiang felt a shadow in his heart, and was a little afraid. Go down and take a look. These two fellows have injured me. Right now they are operating their martial arts to detoxify the poison. This is a good opportunity to kill them. I want to seize this opportunity. Chen Xiang took a deep breath and decided to take a look. When he went down, he saw that the expressions of the Too Strong of Divine Wasteland were not good. Elder Sister Shaoling is really amazing. The poison they refined actually caused these two fellows to be half dead. Chen Xiang was praised towards the two poisons in his heart, but he had used up all of them. He planned to look for Du Shaoling for more after he returned. Big brother, what should we do? After being afflicted with both the Drunken Heaven powder and the heart-devouring bone poison, it would be difficult for him to cure them, especially that Drunken Sky powder, which paralyzes the soul, thus making it difficult to mobilize the Tao energy in the Divine Sense C. It took a lot of effort to mobilize some of it, but a lot of it was swallowed up by the bone-devouring poison, causing it to only be able to control a small amount of Tao energy to resist the poison. You have to be patient. The poison has already been suppressed by me. If it was anyone else, they would have already become a pool of blood. Just wait a few more days, and when the third and fourth brothers who went to Evil God Mountain come back, we will be saved. They can help us force out the poison. What is the background of that guy? There's actually such a poison, and the power of SPAC is being used extremely well. I don't know, but we've investigated it clearly. This guy is definitely a scourge. Chen Xiang secretly sneered when he heard their conversation, then took out his heavenly magic sword and quickly rushed down. Not good, something is approaching. One of the middle-aged men shouted in shock. Remember that right after he shouted, Chen Xiang chopped off his head. He had to admit that these Strong of Divine Wasteland were indeed powerful, to the point where they could actually sense his approach. Chen Xiang threw the head into the Chuang's Hi+God furnace and burned it. The body that had lost its head did not have enough Tao energy to resist the poison, so it quickly melted. This was another body of the God level, but it was melted by the poison just like that. You stupid dog, you were so cool when you hit me. Chen Xiang revealed his true form, grabbing onto the middle-aged man's neck. He sneered. It should be sent by the God of Heaven. BASTARDS like you always make a mess in this world. You are Chen Xiang. The middle-aged man suddenly thought of this name. It was something that the people from Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family had mentioned to him before, because Chen Xiang knew about the heavenly alchemy. He had been more concerned about it previously. He had planned to look for Chen Xiang to obtain the heavenly alchemy from him in the future. Thinking back to this matter, the middle-aged man secretly regretted it a lot, because they should have recklessly killed Chen Xiang back then. "Yo, you actually recognize me." Chen Xiang immediately used soul-absorbing devil spell on him to look through his memories. However, this time he didn't succeed. His opponent's soul had a special power protecting his memories. "You want to check my memories?" "No way." The middle-aged man grinned and said, "You're dead for sure. If you kill me, Master will definitely know. He can see everything through my eyes at any time." "I'm not afraid of him." After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he waved his sword and cut off the middle-aged man's head. Both heads were thrown into the chuangs. Hi+G.O.D. furnace. This was the head of the strong of divine wasteland. The divine sense sea contained a very vast amount of energy. He anxiously refined it. He wanted to preserve that power. After 2 days of refinement, he had refined an energy ball the size of a watermelon. If he were to throw it out, it would result in a very violent explosion. The power that the two strong of divine wastelands have refined is definitely not small. Chen Xiang kept this thing, who knows when he would be able to use it. He had already found out from those two just now what kind of evil G.O.D. mountain the other two went to, and they wouldn't be able to return for a period of time. So he could safely enter the divine spirit place. Not to mention the fact that the evil dragon prince and the thunder cauldron had been robbed. The thunder cauldron had also been severely injured, and the thunder god had also appeared here in a fit of rage. However, Chen Xiang had not merged with it yet, because there was still the consciousness of the lightning god inside. He planned to wait for a while and erase the consciousness inside, then turn it into his own after. Previously, when he went to take a look, the name of the plate was 5 Thunder Roar. It was a heavenly artifact, and when used in battle, it could awaken a very strong thunder power. The thunder cauldron was heavily injured, especially his flesh. It was practically crippled, and would need a large amount of medicinal pellets to repair it. Long Run, do you know where the evil god mountain is? Chen Xiang asked. That place sounded very evil. Of course I know. This is an extremely terrifying place, a place where many heavyweights of the evil sects go into seclusion to cultivate. I heard that there is an evil god from there who specifically bestowed power to those heavyweights of the evil sections. Long Run, who was inside the Yu Yao Mountain Villa, answered. Then wouldn't it be dangerous inside? Chen Xiang had originally planned to go over to take a look. It's very dangerous. Elder brother Shen, don't take the risk. Long Run warned repeatedly. He already knew that Chen Xiang was an extremely bold guy. Was hiding inside an inn. He was currently inquiring about the location of the evil dragon prince, and after a round of questioning, he finally found out where the evil dragon prince was. At night, when Chen Xiang was drinking in the tavern, a person suddenly came to his table. This person was specially to help Chen Xiang gather information. Chen Xiang had had a lot of profound opening fruits from the lightning cauldron, so it was easy for him to find someone to help him with his work. One of the latest news is that evil dragon prince will be leaving the city in 10 days and hunting beasts with a group of heavyweight sons. This is because a sword-winged tiger appeared in one of the mountain ranges within Divine Spirit Place. Chen Xiang opened a piece of paper, saw the contents inside, and nodded his head, then handed over a box to the man, which contained some profound opening fruits. What is a sword-winged tiger? Chen Xiang asked. C-2604. C-2604. Seeing that the young man was startled, Chen Xiang secretly rejoiced in his heart. He then used his spatial energy to retrieve the storage bag in the young man's hand. This caused everyone to be shocked. Someone was actually so audacious to have done such a thing in a row. Not only did he snatch away the Dragon Clan princess, He even took away another person's profound opening fruit. Who did it? Are you not afraid of our evil dragon race taking revenge on you? S of black fog suddenly appeared on the auction stage, turning into a young man wearing a black robe. His face was filled with rage, and waves of evil aura leaked out from his face. At this time, Chen Xiang also pretended to be shocked, and continued to discuss with the people beside him. As he expected, no one discovered that he was the one who did it. Soon after, many experts from the divine towers arrived one after another. They were all sweating profusely because after such a thing happened, they did not have any clues at all, making them lose all their faith. They were also very curious because someone actually had this kind of method to quietly take away the dragon princess. Especially the crystal ball that sealed the dragon clan's princess. That thing was extremely powerful. Previously, the dragon emperors of the dragon clan were sealed inside, and were unable to leave, but now they were easily taken away by someone from inside. The dragon clan princess entered the ring. Upon seeing Long Run, she immediately cried and threw herself into Long Run's embrace. Long Run also never thought that he would actually be able to meet the dragon princess. "Little sister, it's okay, don't cry." Long Run actually called the dragon clan princess sister. It was clear that he was one of the descendants of the dragon emperor. After that, Chen Xiang sent a sound transmission to Long Run, telling him how he could save his sister. Although he had the blood of the dragon emperor, he did not have the vigor that the dragon emperor possessed. However, Long Run had inherited quite a bit of knowledge in this area, and he was very brave. It was obvious from the time he sacrificed himself to lure his enemies to protect the dragon. Everything is fine now. It seems like this divine spirit place is not a safe place. I will bring you guys to a very safe place after a while. They were most suitable to go to the heavenly dragon city. There were many dragons there, and Long Jiuxiao would definitely not mind cultivating Long Run. Thank you, elder brother Shen. Other than being grateful to Chen Xiang, Long Run could also not say anything else. Chen Xiang planned to stay here. He had heard earlier that the evil dragon prince stayed in the divine spirit place for a long time, and stayed here for a long time. At this moment, the people in the auction house were not allowed to leave, because they were certain that the person who took the dragon clan's princess away was inside. Thus, they had to make a thorough examination of each and every one of them. Suddenly, Chen Xiang sensed 4 powerful auras. His heart was startled. It's strong of divine wasteland. He had killed a strong of divine wasteland before, so he was very familiar with these auras. 7 rankers came from the divine wasteland. 2 were already dead and 1 was with the sacred wasteland. 4 of them were missing, while the great landlord guessed that they had gone into the devil wasteland to open the gates to the evil heaven realm. The 4 strong of divine wastelands that Chen Xiang had seen so far should be the ones who had opened the door to the evil heaven realm. From the looks of it, they were also living in the divine spirit place. Chen Xiang was a little worried. After all, these 4 strong of divine wasteland were all very powerful. Everyone, quiet down. A young man suddenly shouted, because the 4 strong of divine wastelands could not figure out who did it. This young man was the person who had planned to buy Long Xiaoyan's fruit. He had lost more than 100 million profound opening fruits, so it was impossible for him to not be angry right now. When Chen Xiang chatted with others just now, he already knew who this young man was. This young man was called Lei Ding, and was rumored to be the descendant of a thunder power cultivator from Divine Spirit Place. Chen Xiang guessed that they were the descendants of the Thunder God, and could tell at a glance that they were bad stuff. He had heard Du Shaoling say before that some of the Gods were also very evil and very selfish. The Gods and evil forces in the Divine Spirit Place were working together. This matter was extremely obvious. Chen Xiang was certain of it. When the lightning cauldron shouted, everyone quieted down. I have a God equipment which is especially effective against O's. As long as everyone queue up and place their hands on this G.O.D. equipment and swear that you didn't do it yourself, you will be able to leave the venue. The Thunder Cauldron said as he took out a larger disc. They should be the descendants of the Thunder God. Only the Thunder God has this sort of thing. Chen Xiang snickered in his heart, because when he swore the oath, many people would say that he was struck by lightning or something like that. However, this divine artifact was not working properly right now, and the lightning God had returned it to his children. Although everyone was unhappy, they had no choice. After all, the evil Dragon Prince and the Thunder Prince's things had been stolen, so even if they were unwilling, they had to wait in line obediently. This auction was very bad for many people. After they swore in the queue, many people quickly left and found a place to complain to others. Chen Xiang's seat was pretty close to the front, so he was also in front. He carefully looked at that black disc, and didn't know if it was really what the Thunder Cauldron said. The 4 strong of Divine Wastelands were all around him, guarding him. Furthermore, they had released an extremely strange barrier, causing Chen Xiang to not know if he could escape or not. Calm down. There were still more than 10 people in front, but Chen Xiang started to channel his Tao energy secretly, and prepared to use his second hand. This thing should be a heavenly artifact. Chen Xiang stared at the disc. Now it was his turn. He placed his palm on the disc and swore. Just as he was speaking halfway, he felt a strong wave of thunder power condensing within the disc. He was immediately shocked in his heart. However, before he could finish his sentence, the disc showed a very stable performance and the lightning cauldron didn't notice it either. This thing is still gathering energy. I think if I let go of it, I'll have a chance to attack me. Chen Xiang was a little anxious, and he mumbled his oath when he said it. Just as he finished speaking, he made a decision. Mine. He immediately moved the disc that was about to explode into the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace, and at the same time, threw out a palm strike towards the lightning cauldron with lightning speed. His palm landed on the Thunder Cauldron's chest, but ABLOODY mist erupted from the Thunder Cauldron's back, causing his entire back to tremble. The force of the attack, on the other hand, did not diminish at all, and after striking out, a very strong undulation burst out. Boom! The Divine Spirit Tower violently shook for a moment and then collapsed. The 4 strong of Divine Wastelands and Evil Dragon Prince were also shocked. They didn't even have time to react before the Lightning Cauldron was severely injured and the Divine Tower collapsed. Chen Xiang had already teleported away, but he was being chased closely by the 2 strong of Divine Wastelands. C-2605. C-2605 The strong of Divine Wasteland that Chen Xiang was facing were all fierce like dragons and tigers, they were not half crippled like the one he killed previously. What's going on with these fellows? They actually chased me so closely? I used my full strength to teleport. Chen Xiang quickly teleported away from the Divine Spirit Place, but the 2 strong of Divine Wastelands behind were still in hot pursuit. They both used teleportation to chase after him. Chen Xiang suddenly felt that these 2 strong of Divine Wastelands were much stronger than the 2 great landlords from before. At this time, Chen Xiang and the 2 strong of Divine Wasteland were engaged in a fierce chase in S.P.A.C., causing him to feel extremely pressured, especially being unable to get rid of them no matter what. If the other party was only slightly stronger than him, he had nothing to worry about. However, these 2 strong of Divine Wastelands were different from the others in the God level. Facing the pursuit of the 2 rankers, it was already not bad for him to be able to run for so long. This is trouble. These fellows are all here to open the gate of heavenly evil. They must be very skilled in using spatial force. Now that they are eyeing us, it is not a good thing. Only now did Chen Xiang remember that the strong of divine wasteland that came here was different from the three that were in the heaven wasteland aristocratic family. Suddenly, Chen Xiang felt the surrounding space tremble violently. In the midst of the intense trembling, Chen Xiang's speed suddenly slowed down by a lot. This is bad. Chen Xiang suddenly felt a spatial ripple coming from the front, and a strong of divine wasteland appeared in front of him. Although he was attacked from the front and back, there were still some that he could move to the left and right. However, when he wanted to use the white tiger to escape, he did not succeed. The space he was in had been sealed, and it was an extremely powerful seal. The white tiger leap that Chen Xiang used was very strong. It could easily cross many strong barriers and had never failed before. Two middle-aged men appeared in front of him. Although they were expressionless, their eyes revealed a trace of surprise. Who exactly are you? To actually be able to grasp such a powerful spatial law, allowing us two brothers to chase after it for so long? A middle-aged man asked with a cold and solemn expression. When he spoke, his voice was very loud, giving off a very intimidating aura. Chen Xiang was sweating profusely. Being surrounded by two strong of divine wasteland with no way out, this was a very dangerous situation, and he was trying to think of a way to escape, so he had already secretly released Drunken Sky. Smelling the fragrance, the two strong of divine wasteland's faces changed. They clearly knew what poison it was. Drunken Sky powder, you're courting death. The middle-aged man who spoke just now was enraged. He instantly teleported behind Chen Xiang and fiercely smashed his palm at Chen Xiang's back. Chen Xiang's chest suddenly exploded, and a bloody hole appeared, allowing him to see his golden heart beating. The opponent only used a palm to make him lose his head. The difference in strength was too great. And there's also the heart-devouring bone poison. The other middle-aged man bellowed and struck a palm on Chen Xiang's head. Who was already injured, had no time to defend at all, and after getting his head smashed in, he almost fainted. Chen Xiang fell onto the ground, while at the same time, the two boxes on his body fell apart. The Drunken Sky powder and the heart-devouring bone poison were scattered all over. The two strong of divine wasteland did not expect Chen Xiang to actually throw out so much poison just now. After one of them gave Chen Xiang a palm, they both inhaled quite a bit, because Chen Xiang had used his own body to release so much poison just now. Hurry up! A middle-aged man's expression changed. The poison aura was getting stronger and stronger, and Chen Xiang was severely injured, so the poison aura was strong, and he would not be able to live for long. They were all infected by a lot of poison. This poison did not need to breathe, and as long as one touched it, they would be able to immediately seep into the body. Moreover, it would quickly spread, so they just got hit a little bit and they would have to be careful. Chen Xiang lied on the ground. The poison that he had released just now was completely useless, because when the two strong of divine wasteland touched a bit of the poison, they had already started defending and used space to separate themselves. However, it was able to scare them off. It's really dangerous, I was almost killed. Chen Xiang was lying on the ground at the moment. Even though his chest had a large hole, his mysterious heart of 9 suns was extremely strong and did not shatter due to the palm strike. After lying on the ground for a while, he had recovered a bit. It was enough for him to stay awake and control the primordial profound gate to release a large amount of primitive Tao power. The recovery power of the primitive Tao power was extremely strong. At the moment he had continuously taken it out from the primordial Tao gate, using it to repair his own wounds. Of course, Divine Sense C was also severely injured. His head was hit, and he directly struck Divine Sense C. Master, are you alright? Do you want us to leave? Chu Hongqing asked. Just now, when Chen Xiang's head was hit, the Yu Yao mountain villa was also shocked. It's not a big problem, please don't come out. Chen Xiang had thrown out 2 boxes of strange poison just now. If Chu Hongqing and the others came out, they would definitely be poisoned. An hour later, Chen Xiang had only recovered a little, and the large hole in his chest had already been repaired, but he was still very weak. The barrier that sealed him did not have the power of the 2 strong of divine wasteland to maintain it, and gradually dissipated as well. Without the spirit formation that sealed him, he would be able to quickly leave this place. However, he would not be able to go too far. Chen Xiang's body had already recovered quite a bit, and his boundless Daoqi also had an extremely strong recovery power. Combined with the primitive Tao power, his self-healing speed was very fast. Now that Chen Xiang was using the primitive Tao power to heal the divine sense C, his injuries were relatively severe. If he did not recover well, the power inside the divine sense C would be affected a lot. After Chen Xiang left the place where he had been injured, he entered a cave to heal his injuries. This place should be safe. We can peacefully heal our injuries. Chen Xiang closed his eyes as the primitive Tao power continued to surge out from the primordial profound gate. They swam around the divine sense C, infiltrated inside the divine sense C, and healed his severely injured soul. In the blink of an eye, 10 days had passed. Chen Xiang opened his eyes, which were ning brightly. The primitive Tao power is so powerful. Chen Xiang praised in his heart before stretching his waist. I thought I was going to die. Once again escaping from death, Chen Xiang was finally relieved. He walked out of the cave, used the counter power to conceal himself, and then carefully flew in the air. Right now, he did not dare to use his spatial energy. The 2 strong of divine wasteland used their spatial energy, so he could sense any kind of fluctuation. C2606. C2606 Chen Xiang planned to walk outside Divine Spirit Place to check on the situation inside. Evil Dragon Prince had suffered greatly, and even the Thunder Cauldron had been injured by him. He did not know how it was currently. The 2 strong of Divine Wasteland were not someone he could deal with, but he felt that he could still deal with someone at the level of the Evil Dragon Princess. As he was flying through the air, he suddenly saw 2 black dots below him. Below was a green GRAS land with 2 abrupt points that were easy to discover, and Chen Xiang's vision was very good, so he was able to immediately see that those 2 points were the strong of Divine Wasteland that injured him earlier. They are actually here. Could it be that they stopped halfway to cure the poison? Chen Xiang was shocked, and was considering whether or not he should go down and take a look. Because he had been severely injured by these 2 extremely strong fellows before, Chen Xiang felt a shadow in his heart, and was a little afraid. Go down and take a look. These 2 fellows have injured me. Right now, they are operating their martial arts to detoxify the poison. This is a good opportunity to kill them. I want to seize this opportunity. Chen Xiang took a deep breath and decided to take a look. When he went down, he saw that the expressions of the 2 strong of Divine Wasteland were not good. Elder Sister Xiaoling is really amazing. The poison they refined actually caused these 2 fellows to be half dead. Chen Xiang was praised towards the 2 poisons in his heart, but he had used up all of them. He planned to look for Du Xiaoling for more after he returned. Big brother, what should we do? After being afflicted with both the drunken heaven powder and the heart-devouring bone poison, it would be difficult for him to cure them, especially that drunken sky powder, which paralyzes the soul, thus making it difficult to mobilize the Tao energy in the divine sense C. It took a lot of effort to mobilize some of it, but a lot of it was swallowed up by the bone-devouring poison, causing it to only be able to control a small amount of Tao energy to resist the poison. You have to be patient. The poison has already been suppressed by me. If it was anyone else, they would have already become a pool of blood. Just wait a few more days, and when the 3rd and 4th brothers who went to Evil God Mountain come back, we will be saved. They can help us force out the poison. What is the background of that guy? There's actually such a poison, and the power of S.P. AC is being used extremely well. I don't know, but we've investigated it clearly. This guy is definitely a scourge. Chen Xiang secretly sneered when he heard their conversation, then took out his heavenly magic sword and quickly rushed down. Not good, something is approaching. One of the middle-aged men shouted in shock. Remember that right after he shouted, Chen Xiang chopped off his head. He had to admit that these strong of divine wasteland were indeed powerful, to the point where they could actually sense his approach. Chen Xiang threw the head into the chuangs. HI+GOD furnace and burned it. The body that had lost its head did not have enough Tao energy to resist the poison, so it quickly melted. This was another body of the GOD level, but it was melted by the poison just like that. You stupid dog, you were so cool when you hit me. Chen Xiang revealed his true form, grabbing onto the middle-aged man's neck. He sneered. It should be sent by the GOD of heaven. BASTARDS like you always make a mess in this world. You are Chen Xiang. The middle-aged man suddenly thought of this name. It was something that the people from Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family had mentioned to him before, because Chen Xiang knew about the heavenly alchemy. He had been more concerned about it previously. He had planned to look for Chen Xiang to obtain the heavenly alchemy from him in the future. Thinking back to this matter, the middle-aged man secretly regretted it a lot, because they should have recklessly killed Chen Xiang back then. Yo, you actually recognize me. Chen Xiang immediately used soul-absorbing devil spell on him to look through his memories. However, this time he didn't succeed. His opponent's soul had a special power protecting his memories. You want to check my memories? No way. The middle-aged man grinned and said, You're dead for sure. If you kill me, Master will definitely know. He can see everything through my eyes at any time. I'm not afraid of him. After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he waved his sword and cut off the middle-aged man's head. Both heads were thrown into the chuangs. HI+GOD furnace. This was the head of the strong of divine wasteland. The divine sense sea contained a very vast amount of energy. He anxiously refined it. He wanted to preserve that power. After 2 days of refinement, he had refined an energy ball the size of a watermelon. If he were to throw it out, it would result in a very violent explosion. The power that the two strong of divine wastelands have refined is definitely not small. Chen Xiang kept this thing, who knows when he would be able to use it. He had already found out from those two just now what kind of evil GOD mountain the other two went to, and they wouldn't be able to return for a period of time. So he could safely enter the divine spirit place. Not to mention the fact that the evil dragon prince and the thunder cauldron had been robbed. The thunder cauldron had also been severely injured, and the thunder god had also appeared here in a fit of rage. However, Chen Xiang had not merged with it yet, because there was still the consciousness of the lightning god inside. He planned to wait for a while and erase the consciousness inside, then turn it into his own after. Previously, when he went to take a look, the name of the plate was 5 Thunder Roar. It was a heavenly artifact, and when used in battle, it could awaken a very strong thunder power. The thunder cauldron was heavily injured, especially his flesh. It was practically crippled, and would need a large amount of medicinal pellets to repair it. Long run, do you know where the evil god mountain is? Chen Xiang asked. That place sounded very evil. Of course I know. This is an extremely terrifying place, a place where many heavyweights of the evil sects go into seclusion to cultivate. I heard that there is an evil god from there who specifically bestowed power to those heavyweights of the evil sections. Long Run, who was inside the Yu Yao Mountain Villa, answered. Then wouldn't it be dangerous inside? Chen Xiang had originally planned to go over to take a look. It's very dangerous. Elder brother Shen, don't take the risk. Long Run warned repeatedly. He already knew that Chen Xiang was an extremely bold guy. Was hiding inside an inn. He was currently inquiring about the location of the evil dragon prince, and after a round of questioning, he finally found out where the evil dragon prince was. At night, when Chen Xiang was drinking in the tavern, a person suddenly came to his table. This person was specially to help Chen Xiang gather information. Chen Xiang had had a lot of profound opening fruits from the lightning cauldron, so it was easy for him to find someone to help him with his work. One of the latest news is that Evil Dragon Prince will be leaving the city in 10 days and hunting beasts with a group of heavyweight sons. This is because a sword-winged tiger appeared in one of the mountain ranges within Divine Spirit Place. Chen Xiang opened a piece of paper, saw the contents inside, and nodded his head, then handed over a box to the man, which contained some profound opening fruits. What is a sword-winged tiger? Chen Xiang asked. C-2607. C-2607. It's a very powerful beast. The feathers on its wings were made from swords. If these swords were here, they would grow back quickly. If one could get a winged sword tiger, it would be equivalent to possessing many swords, able to provide a large group of extremely powerful swords. Chen Xiang immediately thought of the evil blood warriors that had come out from the Dragon Blood Lake. The weapons in their hands were all very weak. If they were equipped with a large number of divine swords, their fighting strength would definitely increase by a lot. Evil Dragon Prince caught the blade-winged tiger because of this matter. After that person left, Chen Xiang began to plan on what to do tomorrow. He had only told that person that he wanted to curry favor with the evil dragon prince, so he entrusted him with the task of investigating the movements of the evil dragon prince. Chen Xiang headed towards the mountain range overnight, and he was quite a distance away from the city, but he was still within the boundaries of the Divine Spirit Place. There are still 10 days, I'm only at the 3rd level of the Tao Hi+ realm. I need to break through as soon as possible and cultivate more profound entrances to the ancient code. Chen Xiang closed his eyes, took out a few primitive Tao Power S from the primordial profound gate, and used them to refine a pellet. Last time he used the primitive Tao Power to refine pills, he only used that one strike to injure him heavily. This time, he did not dare to come. The 2 profound gates of law that I've previously trained in are the Flame Profound Door and the Spatial Profound Door, while the 3rd is the Primordial Profound Door. Chen Xiang was considering the distribution of the 10 rules and profound doors. The primitive Tao Power should be able to strengthen the Fire Tao. I'll give it a try. After Chen Xiang released the Fire Tao energy, he added some primitive Tao Power S. As expected, the Fire Tao energy suddenly increased by a lot. This way, all I need to do is to train and create a mysterious S.P.A.C. gate and a mysterious flaming gate. The other 8 will be to practice the primordial mysterious gate. Chen Xiang tested using his spatial force. As long as he added a little primitive Tao power, his spatial force would increase. This was the power of the primitive Tao power. It could actually strengthen the other Tao powers of the laws. It was very easy for Chen Xiang to cultivate in the primitive Tao power. He could eat pills refined using the primitive Tao power, or he could absorb the primitive Tao power from the primordial profound gate to temper those Tao profound doors. Right now, he planned to use 2 methods to refine pellets at the same time. One was to use the primitive Tao power of the profound laws to temper the Tao profound door, and the other was to use the primitive Tao power to refine pellet. The Tao Hi+ realm and the Tao Zong realm were relatively easy to cross over for Chen Xiang, especially the current Tao Hi+ realm. As long as he had enough attribute energy to guide his cultivation in the Tao profound door, he would be able to refine a profound door with the code very quickly. Only by reaching the Tao God realm quickly would Chen Xiang feel safe. especially when facing off against experts from the divine wasteland. He didn't have enough power, like how he almost turned into ashes before. There was one more thing that was important to Chen Xiang, and that was to cultivate his own flesh. Otherwise, his primitive Tao power would not even be able to strengthen itself through the profound door. He could barely pass through the first layer of the gate of heavenly mystery, let alone the 10th layer. If he had a strong enough fleshly body to bear it, then the might of his primitive Tao power would be boundless. It seems that I have to cultivate to the Tao Ji, D gold body in order to be able to pass tenfold door. When Chen Xiang thought about how his primitive Tao power was unable to strengthen itself through the profound door, he felt extremely unreconciled. It was equivalent to having a full body of strength, but he was worried that his body would break down after using it. Chen Xiang had cultivated here for 8 days. He had already cultivated up to 2 of the ancient code mysterious gates, both of them being primal Taoists. At the moment, he was already at the 5th stage of the Tao Hi+ realm. If it was anyone else, their power would not increase much no matter how fast the Tao Hi+ realm was raised. However, Chen Xiang was different, as all 10 of his profound doors had been opened. The current him was restricted from having a strong physical body. Try opening the 3 ancient profound doors. Chen Xiang had completely opened the 3 primordial profound gate. 3 vast waves of primitive Tao power rushed out like a raging river and gathered together, causing his divine sense sea to tremble. Very strong. It seems that even my physical body is unable to withstand it. Just thinking about it, Chen Xiang felt that it was a little scary. If he could force the primitive Tao power through the 10 levels of profound doors, it would definitely be very scary. They should be here in 2 days. I'll go find that sword-winged tiger first. Chen Xiang was also very interested in the sword-winged tiger. To think that there would be such a bizarre beast-type existence that it could grow its own sword, just by thinking about it, he felt that it was very powerful. This mountain range was very big and there were many beasts. It was probably because the environment here was not bad, that was why it became Divine Spirit Place. Chen Xiang had been searching here for 2 days already, but there were only some clues. He realized that there were some traces of sword thorns, and most of them had actually been pierced by many swords. There are no footprints left by a sword-winged tiger. Chen Xiang carefully checked the area. Just as he was pondering, a black figure suddenly flashed past in the sky. He raised his head to look around, but he did not see anything. As he looked around, he suddenly realized that there was a gigantic golden tiger in the distance. When this giant golden tiger swept past the skies of a forest, it only flapped its wings once before exploding out with sword chi cruise. Plussing many of the huge trees below it. He seems to be looking for something. What a powerful attack power! Chen Xiang was secretly shocked. He did not know if he would be able to handle the sword chi properly. He used the counter power to conceal himself, so the blade-winged tiger did not see him. He kept a distance behind him. As long as he followed this blade-winged tiger, he would be able to meet the evil dragon prince. I wonder what his strength is to think that he would be so powerful. Chen Xiang followed behind the winged sword tiger, and along the way, they had already killed a few stronger beasts, but they were all killed by the sword chi released by the winged sword tiger, and they were all far away. Chen Xiang followed them for a long time before he suddenly saw a lot of people in the distance. Evil Dragon Prince. Chen Xiang's heart trembled. The evil Dragon Prince had indeed come, and they had even brought a large group of very strong youths. It seemed like they were all at the 10th level of the Tao sect. I'm relieved now that there's no Tao Sovereign Realm cultivator. Chen Xiang planned to kill all of Evil Dragon Prince's people. Crown Prince, look, I didn't lie to you, right? There are sword-winged tiger in this mountain range. One of them smiled and said, "We can begin now. Everyone, be careful. Sword-winged tiger is not weak, and be careful of his sword chi. His sword chi is comparable to those of experts in the way of the sword. Evil Dragon Prince said. As a beast himself, he understood sword-winged tiger very well. Chen Xiang, who was hiding himself, was sharpening his blade, preparing to take the opportunity to make his move. Right now, he wanted to see how Evil Dragon Prince and his group of people would capture the sword-winged tiger alive. The Evil Dragon Prince would definitely not kill this precious sword-winged tiger, otherwise he would not be able to obtain an endless stream of divine swords from the sword-winged tiger. The Evil Wei did not know how to forge weapons or refine pills. They were very poor in terms of equipment, so sword-winged tigers were very precious to them. C-2608. C-2608. There were dozens of people from Evil Dragon Prince, and all of them were powerful, so Chen Xiang did not dare to rush over. When the sword-winged tiger saw that humans were approaching, it did not immediately attack, but ran away. This sword-winged tiger was not stupid, it actually knew how to avoid these strong humans. Oh my God, he actually ran away. Chen Xiang was shocked and quietly followed him. As long as he followed the sword-winged tiger, Evil Dragon Prince and the others would catch up sooner or later. As expected, Evil Dragon Prince and the rest caught up very quickly. Sword-winged tiger were extremely important to him, and since he had discovered them, he would definitely not give up. Quickly use a spirit formation to seal that guy up and prevent him from escaping. After Evil Dragon Prince finished speaking, a few people threw out a few formation plates, and then released a barrier, instantly enveloping a large area. Chen Xiang was also trapped inside the enchantment, but the enchantment did not pose much of a threat to Chen Xiang, so he could easily escape. The enchantment of the too strong of divine wasteland from before made him afraid, but only those who knew the way of SPAC could lay it down. The sword-winged tiger was sealed behind the barrier, so it was hard for them to escape. Right now there was only one way left for them, and that was to fight to the death with these humans. Of course, humans did not pose a big threat to the sword-winged tiger. What he was afraid of was that evil dragon. The dragon's aura was already capable of intimidating many beasts, let alone the Evil Dragon Prince with its dense evil chi. Chen Xiang hid in the air and watched. He wanted to see the strength of this group of people. If they were too strong, he would need to change his plans. Do it! Evil Dragon Prince shouted, and everyone immediately surrounded the sword-winged tiger. Then, they released their spirit energy that had said through the 10 layers of profound doors, and smashed towards the sword-winged tiger from all directions. In the blink of an eye, the sword-winged tiger was struck by many of the attacks. With a boom, waves of chi undulated through the ground, causing the soil on the ground to turn over and over. The sword-winged tiger was only a beast after all, so even though it was very strong, it could not withstand so many people attacking it. With the current injuries on its body and the destroyed wings, it was only the sword on top that fell to the ground. Those swords were very strong and were not damaged at all. Use the net! Evil Dragon Prince shouted as a large net fell down, trapping the sword-winged tiger within. Chen Xiang had thought that Evil Dragon Prince and the others would fight with the sword-winged tiger, but who would have thought that they would be taken care of in such a short time? I really didn't expect these guys to be so powerful, taking care of the sword-winged tiger in one go. Chen Xiang could not help but exclaim in his heart. He had seen the strength of this sword-winged tiger before. We can't let them succeed. A plan immediately surfaced in Chen Xiang's mind, then returned to normal. A person suddenly appeared inside the barrier. Evil Dragon Prince and the rest quickly noticed it, but because it was right above them, they immediately became cautious. Who are you? A middle-aged man shouted to Chen Xiang. Come down. When the middle-aged man spoke, some people started attacking Chen Xiang, but they were all avoided by Chen Xiang. Normally, if Chen Xiang was attacked like that, he would definitely beat him back without saying a word. But now that he had a plan, he could only endure it. It was only when he reached the ground that the others stopped attacking him. I was also here to look for the sword-winged tiger. I have been following this sword-winged tiger all this time, but I never thought that it would be so popular and actually be caught by you guys. Chen Xiang said. He did not reveal his true appearance, but rather took on the appearance of a middle-aged man. Sorry, the sword-winged tiger is mine now. Evil Dragon Prince's face turned cold. I'm in a good mood today, so I don't mind how sneaky you are, otherwise you would have already been killed by us. Chen Xiang wasn't afraid though. He swept his eyes across the people behind Evil Dragon Prince, and then said, "The sword-winged tiger is extremely useful to me. I don't know if this friend here will be able to cut it off." Chen Xiang did not have many profound opening fruits, so he was only testing the Evil Dragon Prince. Nope. Evil Dragon Prince was very determined. "I will use the heavenly artifact to exchange," Chen Xiang said again, and then took out his 6 realms mirrors, and then explained the uses of the 6 realms mirrors. As long as they were hit by the mirror, their power would be reflected and they would have a strong defense. Just this point caused many people behind Evil Dragon Prince to reveal an expression of wanting to take advantage of them. And when Chen Xiang said that 6 realms mirrors could easily copy formations, it made people exclaim repeatedly. Chen Xiang had even demonstrated to copy the enchantment that they had set up using a few array discs, but the 6 realms mirrors had SHI plus Ned for an instant and copied it down. "How about it? This is a good item." Chen Xiang laughed. "Do you want to trade?" "No, you can leave, but leave this thing behind." The Evil Dragon Prince sneered. He felt that Chen Xiang was too naive to actually come to negotiate with him, and take out such a good thing to show off. This was exactly as Chen Xiang had expected. He had already kept the 6 realms mirrors. "Hand it over and I'll let you leave this place alive." The other people had already surrounded Chen Xiang. "You all! How can you all do this?" Chen Xiang pretended to be angry and purposely revealed a terrified expression. "Are you giving or not?" A sword was already at Chen Xiang's neck. "Here, I'll give it to you." Chen Xiang anxiously took out the 6 realms mirrors. The 6 realms mirrors had already been turned into a small mirror by Chen Xiang. When Evil Dragon Prince took the 6 realms mirrors, he said, "You still haven't cut off all contact with this heavenly artifact, looks like you can only destroy your soul." With that, the Evil Dragon Prince was about to make his move, but the 6 realms mirrors in his hand suddenly grew big. He immediately looked at the mirror of the 6 realms mirrors, and saw that a black liquid suddenly surged out. Poisonous! The Evil Dragon Prince was terrified. Puff! The 6 realms mirror's mirror suddenly spewed out a large ball of black juice, scattering everywhere. The dozens of people nearby were drenched in the black venom. As for the sword-winged tiger at the side, it was protected by Chen Xiang's spatial barrier. Although Chen Xiang himself was also in the rain, he was completely fine. Heaven's divination. Who exactly are you? Only the undead divine race has this kind of poison, and that much too. The Evil Dragon Prince's voice was filled with fear. Chen Xiang did not answer him. Instead, he took his heavenly magic sword and walked towards the people who were meditating to expel the poison. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Chen Xiang beheaded all those who were poisoned with the sky spill poison, leaving behind the Evil Dragon Prince. Even a Dao Sovereign Realm Xia Bailing couldn't do anything against this kind of poison, much less a 10th stage Evil Dragon Prince of the sect. C2609. C2609, you, quickly cure me. The sword-winged tiger is yours, and from today onwards, you are my Evil Dragon Prince's brother. Evil Dragon Prince's voice trembled. He felt that he was powerless to resist the strong poison. Who do you think you are? Are you even worthy to be called my brother? Chen Xiang sneered, and then slapped Evil Dragon Prince's evil and handsome face, unexpectedly producing some scales. The heaven's birth poison had made his body extremely weak, as though it was made of mud. My father is the evil dragon emperor and his master is the evil God. If I die, you will not have a good ending. Evil dragon prince cried out in pain. The poison entered his body, making him wish he were dead. I'm so scared. Chen Xiang laughed as he cut off evil dragon prince's arm, then stepped on the wound on his arm. The evil dragon prince screamed again and again in pain. At this time, Chen Xiang took out the heavenly artifact of the Thunder God, which was also known as the Five Thunder Blast. Seeing the disc in Chen Xiang's hands, evil dragon prince immediately understood that the person who SN ATC hid the dragon clan princess away was the person in front of him. His heart was filled with hatred. This was all because he had grabbed hold of the sword-winged tiger and ecstatic it to the point that his head was about to faint. Otherwise, when he saw Chen Xiang, he would have already made his move. Just who are you? The evil dragon prince roared. The one who sent you on your way. Chen Xiang laughed as he activated the disc called the Five Thunder Roar. The disc floated above the evil dragon prince and continued to rain down lightning, causing the evil dragon prince to scream out in pain. Evil dragon prince was a dragon after all, and the quality of his body was not bad. When Chen Xiang saw that the evil dragon prince had been ravaged to the point where he was about to turn into a dragon, he immediately went forward and used the soul-absorbing devil spell to search the memories in the evil dragon prince's mind. Very quickly, he got a lot of information about this world from the evil dragon prince's mind, as well as some big plans for the future. This guy can't die for now. If he dies, then the trouble won't be small. After Chen Xiang found out about some things from the evil dragon prince's memories, if the evil dragon prince died, then whatever evil dragon emperor would definitely go crazy. He immediately extracted and sealed evil dragon prince's soul inside a pearl. As long as evil dragon prince's soul was not destroyed, the pearl of life that was connected to him would not shatter. Chen Xiang often did this before. He cleaned up the place and had used most of his poison. It had indeed made things much easier for him, especially after he got rid of the too strong of Divine Wasteland S. When he planned to let the sword-winged tiger go, he found that the sword-winged tiger that was covered in wounds had already recovered. Sword-winged tiger's recovery ability was already strong, and the evil dragon prince also valued this point, because they could obtain a large amount of divine swords from the sword-winged tiger. Well, you may go. Chen Xiang pulled open the net and said to the sword-winged tiger. The sword-winged tiger growled at Chen Xiang twice, and then the tiger head rubbed against Chen Xiang, showing that it did not have any hostility towards Chen Xiang. This was a very intimate action. You want to follow me? Chen Xiang laughed. The sword-winged tiger nodded. This sword-winged tiger was also a rather peculiar beast. It could not transform into human form, and could not speak, nor did it send Chen Xiang a sound transmission. If you follow me, I might take your divine sword often. Chen Xiang patted the sword-winged tiger's head. The sword-winged tiger growled. From the looks of it, he was not opposed to Chen Xiang doing that. Chen Xiang took out the 6 realms mirrors and allowed it to enter the inner SPAC of the 6 realms mirrors. For the time being, he didn't dare to place the sword-winged tiger inside the Yu Yao mountain villa. After leaving the mountain range, Chen Xiang flew high up in the sky towards the south of the city. At the southern side of the city was a gigantic mountain that reached into the clouds. Chen Xiang followed the memories of the evil dragon prince and headed towards one of the mountains. This mountain was home to the most powerful deities here. The entire mountain was enveloped by a powerful barrier, but it was not enough to stop Chen Xiang. He jumped in with a white tiger, and then teleported to the top of the mountain. At the top of the mountain there was a large house, and Chen Xiang was currently in the courtyard inside. He sat on a stone bench and played with a bird on the table, causing the bird to chirp non-stop. A room's door suddenly opened, and an old man walked out. When he saw Chen Xiang in the courtyard, he could not help but scream. This old man was Natural Law Divine Spirit. Chen Xiang had seen this Natural Law Divine Spirit from the evil dragon prince's memories. At that time, he was very surprised. He never thought that these gods would actually hide within this heavenly evil world. They had known many things from the beginning, but they had concealed them. Chen Xiang, why are you here? Could it be that everything that happened was done by you? The Natural Law Divine Spirit was surprised, and came to Chen Xiang's side. I did it. Quickly go and tell that lightning that I injured his son. Chen Xiang laughed. You are too terrible, you should have long guessed that I was the one who did it. I didn't expect you to come here. When Natural Law Divine Spirit looked at Chen Xiang, his eyes were evasive and he felt guilty. Don't be afraid of me, I understand your situation. Chen Xiang said, You gods have weakened so much, it is not easy to be able to live a peaceful life here. You will definitely not be involved in other things. It's good that you understand. You also know that these matters are not something that I can control. Natural Law Divine Spirit sighed helplessly. But you fellows are colluding with those evil forces in the evil dragon prince, which is really something you shouldn't do. Chen Xiang snorted. From the evil dragon prince's memories, he knew that there were a few deities that served the evil god mountain. Things are rather complicated. Of course, I didn't do that sort of thing. Natural Law Divine Spirit said, I originally wanted to tell you, but right now, I also have no choice. Natural Law Divine Spirit knew that he was unsatisfied in his heart, because once the evil forces entered the Natural Law Divine realm, they would definitely carry out a massacre. Although the evil forces might not be able to defeat the Natural Law Divine realm, but even if they could not, there would still be heavy casualties. Is it because of Natural Law Divine Lord's restrictions? Asked. This was what Chen Xiang had learned from the evil dragon prince's memories. Yes, although he did not control us, he did not allow me to do anything that went against him. We were abandoned by him now, and he weakened us because he was afraid that we would betray him in the future, just like the great landlord. The Natural Law Divine Spirit replied, The restrictions he places on the great landlord are not very big, to the point where he is unable to retract the power of the great landlord. He can only restrict the entry of the great landlord, and limit the increase of the power of the great landlord. See 2610. See 2610. As for Natural Law Divine Spirit and the rest, they were restricted even more, and some of their power was even taken away, causing them to only have the cultivation of Tao sovereigns. So, you guys are unable to level up? Chen Xiang asked. Although the Natural Law Divine Spirit was useless, he had at least given him the world creation divine well before. Therefore, Chen Xiang was fairly certain about the character of the Natural Law Divine Spirit. No, unless we can erase some of the imprints left by the god in our souls. Natural Law Divine Spirit shook his head. Do you need to use the primitive Tao power? Chen Xiang asked. Natural Law Divine Spirit was shocked. Who told you this, great landlord? He doesn't seem to know about this either. At that time, Heaven Wasteland aristocratic family and the others will know. Why didn't they succeed? Right now, Chen Xiang had a lot of primitive Tao power. The primitive Tao power is not enough, I need a lot. The Natural Law Divine Spirit said, If I can remove those restrictions, I'll be able to live like a human. Chen Xiang suddenly grabbed Natural Law Divine Spirit's arm, and injected a bit of primitive Tao power. This is the Yuan Shendan. You can release the primitive Tao power. What exactly is going on? Natural Law Divine Spirit was shocked again. What do you think? I think I can help you remove those restrictions, but I need you to help me with something. Chen Xiang said. Speak. As long as I can do it, I will definitely do it. Natural Law Divine Spirit was ecstatic because he felt that he would be able to remove the restriction very soon. Alright, let me ask you first. Amongst all of these ODS, who do you trust the most? Chen Xiang asked. Earth's core divine spirit, you should understand this guy's personality. He is a good person, and there are quite a few spirits who colluded with evil G. O. D Mountain, only Earth's core divine spirit and I did not partake. 1p8. The other GODS all planned to help evil G. O. D Mountain attack natural law divine realm. The natural law divine spirit said, I can help you and the Earth's core divine spirit remove that restriction, but I want you to kill the other GODS. Chen Xiang said. Earth's core divine spirit was not bad. He had already helped Huolin build a secret realm in the Earth's core. No problem, as long as you provide us with enough primitive Tao power, we will immediately act once we remove that restriction. Without the restriction, I don't have any more worries, because when we are created, we are not allowed to kill each other. The natural law divine spirit said. Chen Xiang took out 2 primitive Tao power pills and said, These are pills I refined using the primitive Tao power, I think it should be enough. Natural law divine spirit did not accept it, but said, I will go find Earth's core divine spirit, wait for me here. Not long after natural law divine spirit left, he brought the Earth's core divine spirit over. On the way, he had already told the Earth's core divine spirit about this matter. Of course the Earth's core divine spirit was willing to get rid of the other GODS. Those GODS were traitors in his eyes. He had wanted to take action since long ago, but due to the restrictions the natural law divine Lord placed on them, he was unable to do so. Natural law divine spirit and Earth's core divine spirit ate the pills he gave them and then entered the secret room to cultivate. He needed to control the primitive Tao power to erase the energy natural law divine Lord left in his body. While Chen Xiang was waiting outside, he was also concocting pills. He was only at the 5th level of Tao's HI plus realm, so he needed to hurry and level up. He had to be ready for those guys right now. 2 days later, natural law divine spirit and Earth's core divine spirit came out happily. One look was enough to tell that they had broken free from that restriction. They were all deities and were once the managers of this world. They definitely had quite a few good things on their hands, and now that they no longer had any restrictions they could cultivate. Now we can go and attack. Let's get rid of that guy Lei. This BASTARD has been shouting at me all day. I've been wanting to kill him for a long time. The natural law divine spirit said. Chen Xiang felt that it was funny, since the natural law divine spirit's heart was also very dark. After removing the restrictions, she would think about taking revenge. In the future, I will no longer be the natural law divine spirit. I am Yuan Feng. The natural law divine spirit replied, This is the name I gave myself. I thought about it for a long time. Natural law divine spirit looked at Chen Xiang. He was very satisfied with this name. Nothing much, just an ordinary name. Chen Xiang laughed. Why not use my surname? I won't do it. Yuan Feng was very disappointed. Chen Xiang actually said that this name was very ordinary. He looked at Earth's core divine spirit and said, Your name. They didn't have a name, so of course they had to give it a name before turning back into a human. Earth's core divine spirit thought for a moment, then said, Yuan Xian. After all, you are our big brother, and the new means that I have started my life anew. Right, when you get rid of those GODS, remember to plunder all the things on their bodies. Chen Xiang said. I don't need you to teach me that, I understand. Yuan Feng laughed. Right now, he looked really happy, as if he had just come out from a prison. The two of them were in a good mood and were in a good mood. If they took this opportunity to do something, they would definitely be able to achieve twice the results with half the effort. Chen Xiang was concocting pills here, waiting for them to return. Once he settled the matters here, he would return to the natural law divine realm, and at that time, he would bring Yuan Feng and Yuan Xian over to look for Long Jiuxiao. Great landlord should be troubled by those restrictions right now. I'll give him 2 more pills, then help him when the time comes. Thought, refining the primitive Tao power pills was relatively easy for him, but it could help the great landlord a lot. In only half a day's time, Yuan Xin and Yuan Feng returned with faces full of smiles. So fast did he fail? Chen Xiang asked. Just as he finished speaking, Yuan Xin threw him a lot of heads. This is a lightning G. Oh D, this is a wind creature, this is an ice and snow G. Oh D, this is a flame G. Oh D. Yuan Feng pointed to each and every head. With that, he threw out another pile of things and said, all of them are heavenly artifacts, I'll give them to you. If you really want all of them, just give them to me. You don't need them. Chen Xiang looked at the messy, strange-looking heavenly artifact and took a deep breath. We all do. Yuan Feng laughed. Chen Xiang anxiously kept it all, although he had quite a number of them, but the more of these things, the better. If we still had the cultivation of the Tao Gods, we would have definitely gone to the evil G, O, D mountain and flattened that place. Without the restriction that the natural law divine Lord had placed on him, he looked much more domineering than before. C 2611. C 2611. From the memories of the evil dragon prince, Chen Xiang knew that the evil God mountain was the headquarters of the evil forces, and there were many big shots of evil forces gathering, and the strongest among them was the heavenly Tao evil God, which was also created by the natural law divine Lord. Ibdu. The evil God of the heavenly Tao is very strong. If you all still possess the cultivation of Tao Gods, can you all really defeat him? Chen Xiang asked. The strength of the heavenly Tao evil God was even stronger than the evil dragon prince's evil dragon father. That was why Chen Xiang asked him this question. Evil dragon prince's father was also a Tao deity. Well, it's a little difficult. Yuan Feng laughed. He never thought that he would have such an understanding of the evil God of the. What if we add on the great landlord? Chen Xiang asked again. This is still a little difficult. Yuan Feng sighed. The reason the evil God of the heavenly Tao is stronger than all the other people who cultivate under the Tao is because when the natural law divine Lord created this guy, he left a large amount of primitive Tao power on his body. Yuan Xin added, the evil God of the heavenly Tao himself said that he had a primordial Tao pill in his body. I wonder what that thing is. In short, he can use a lot of primitive Tao power to fight against it. Enough, let's hurry up and leave this place. The natural law divine Lord will soon find out about our situation, and if we remove our restrictions, we will definitely be discovered by him. Furthermore, we will also kill that many natural law divine spirits. Yuan Feng took out a disc. Come up, quickly leave heavenly evil world. Chen Xiang and Yuan Xin anxiously walked over. I still haven't figured out what's going on with the heavenly evil world. Chen Xiang asked. As for heavenly evil world, just like the natural law divine realm, these two worlds were equivalent to a twin world. The laws and the life forms of both worlds were the same, only the two worlds were not connected. The difference between heavenly evil world and natural law divine realm is that there is a heavenly evil abyss here, and every so often, there will be a large amount of evil spirit gus. Plussing out, and over time, this world will produce a large amount of evil spirit. Yuan Feng controlled the disc to fly, shuttling through S.P.A.C. During this period of time, the heavenly evil abyss had been constantly releasing evil chi, and did not stop, and also released a lot of evil chi. This made the group of evil God mountain happy to death, and the evil chi was considered a treasure to them, and evil God mountain was also beside the heavenly evil abyss. Chen Xiang felt that it was weird. The evil dragon prince's memories did not have anything to do with the heavenly evil abyss. Heavenly evil abyss, what is below this place? Why is evil force surging out? Chen Xiang asked curiously. It is said that after a few evil beings from the natural law divine realm die, their evil energy will gush into the heavenly evil world, or the demons from other realms will die. Yuan Feng replied, I don't understand much myself. Not long after, Chen Xiang saw a huge red screen of light in front of him. It was the door to the natural law divine realm. I'm about to leave this D.A.M. Ned place. Yuan Feng laughed. He was previously forced to stay in this world, and he did not like it here. Just when they thought they would pass through the red light screen suddenly turned black. What's going on? Chen Xiang shouted in alarm. He wanted to use the white tiger to jump and dodge, but he did not expect that the surrounding SPAC was extremely chaotic. After getting affected by this interference, Chen Xiang was unable to use his spatial energy at all. Destroy my plan. Go down into the abyss. Chen Xiang and the others heard the sound of their sinister laughter. Abyss? Heavenly evil abyss. Yuan Feng could not help but ver, but there in front of him was a gigantic black vortex, continuously spinning like a demon's huge mouth, wanting to swallow them all. What's going on? Why did he enter the heavenly evil abyss? Chen Xiang was currently very nervous. That place sounded very terrifying, and they were still discussing about it before, but did not expect to reach this place in the blink of an eye. I don't know, but that voice was from the natural law divine Lord. Yuan Feng said in fear. The fact that the natural law divine Lord could actually do it himself shocked Chen Xiang. Didn't you say that this fellow is unable to bring his strength into these worlds? Chen Xiang asked. It's hard to say. He might have controlled the heavenly evil abyss to teleport. Previously, when the evil wasteland and the devil wasteland fused, it was precisely this guy who did this. Yuan Feng clenched his teeth. He controlled the round disc to stabilize himself. Chen Xiang and the others were currently in an extremely powerful vortex, and were completely incapable of escaping. This is trouble. Yuan Feng suddenly shouted because his plate suddenly cracked. Just then, Chen Xiang felt a sharp pain from his body, as if it was being torn apart. The SPAC is splitting apart. Chen Xiang shouted in shock, and then, with a boom, the disc beneath his feet exploded, causing a force to shake the three of them away. In this heavenly evil abyss, Chen Xiang could not use his power freely. He had originally wanted to release his 6 realms mirrors, but he could not do so no matter what. As he continuously fell into the abyss, the pain Chen Xiang felt became more and more intense, especially for his divine sense C. The world inside seemed like it was going to collapse. Fortunately, at the critical moment, the heavenly beast in his second divine sense C suddenly appeared and protected his first divine sense C. And Chen Xiang was also knocked unconscious by the pain coming from his soul. The dazed Chen Xiang woke up, and the moment he opened his eyes, he felt that it was extremely dazzling. Sunlight. Chen Xiang recalled the incident where he fell into the heavenly evil abyss, and it felt like he was in a nightmare. What's going on? Didn't I fall into heavenly evil abyss? What is this place? It seems to be a very normal world. Chen Xiang sat up and looked around. He was currently in a patch of grass and could hear the cries of the birds in the forest not far away. Beneath the heavenly evil abyss is actually such a world? Chen Xiang could not believe it. He used the Dao Heart Eye to look around, and saw that the place was filled with Dao Qi. Where the HELIMI? Chen Xiang looked at the sky, then closed his eyes to sense the SPAC. This SPAC was extremely unfamiliar to him. If it was in natural law divine realm, he would close his eyes and a spatial mark would appear. With just a thought, he could teleport to the mark. However, he could not do it here. His powerful spatial force was useless. Don't tell me there are no SPAC laws here. After Chen Xiang became shocked, he went to check on the Yu Yao mountain villa inside. He could see the situation inside the Yu Yao mountain villa, and he saw Long Run playing with a large group of children. Hongqing, are you alright? Chen Xiang asked. Previously, the impact on Divine Sense Sea World was not small. Everything is fine. You should be fine now. Chu Hongqing asked. Yeah, I'm fine now. Chen Xiang looked around. I just don't know where I am. This isn't the natural law divine realm that I'm familiar with, and isn't the heavenly evil world either. See 2612. See 2612 Pure Text Online Read Local Domain Name Mobile Phone Synchronous Read Please visit Found it hard to believe that there was actually such a peaceful world inside the heavenly evil abyss. If not for Chu Hongqing's voice, he would have thought that he was dreaming. He was sure that he was not inside an array, because he could clearly see the composition of the Tao energy inside it using the Tao Heart Eye. If there really was an array, he would definitely be able to see that there was life energy flowing inside the flowers, plants and trees that he had seen. Where's Yuan Xin and Yuan Feng, the two divine spirits? Did they also fall into this world? Chen Xiang only remembered that they were knocked far away by the flying disc. When Chen Xiang came in, his entire body was in extreme pain, but it was already better. He tried to use it, but other than spatial energy, the rest were normal. He could still use the energy in his body. In front of him was a forest. At this moment, he was walking into it. He only felt that the sunlight was fierce, and it would be much cooler if he entered the forest. However, just as he was walking quickly towards the forest, he suddenly heard some sound. It was a very soft sound, like a beast approaching him cautiously. What is it? Chen Xiang immediately looked towards the direction of the voice. He could not use his spatial energy, and he could only use this method to be alert. His perception was still very sharp. He could see things approaching him. Just as he took out the heavenly magic sword, a black shadow suddenly pounced on him. So fast! Chen Xiang was shocked. If it was the past, he could directly teleport to avoid it, but now he could only rely on his body's quick movements to avoid it. Feeling something ing towards him, he instinctively turned to the side to avoid it. However, he still felt his body being touched by that thing, and a hint of coldness came from his left shoulder. He lowered his head and saw that there was actually a scratch there. What the hell is this thing? Chen Xiang immediately used the Tao Heart Eye to look, but he could not see anything. He'd been hurt himself, and he couldn't believe it before he saw what it was. He was certain that his body was still as strong as it was before. This could only mean that the claw of the thing that scratched him was very sharp, and it also possessed very strong power. Here it comes again. Chen Xiang was startled and hastily avoided the item. He originally wanted to use the G.O.D. murdering sword techniques, but found that he was unable to do so. The G.O.D. murdering sword techniques was related to the power of the time laws, and now he realized that he couldn't even use the power of the time laws here. The laws of SPAC and time were both restricted here. This time, he avoided it. Moreover, he slashed out with his sword, but it did not hit the thing. He quickly retreated. If he could not use his spatial power, then he would be unable to release his spatial sensing domain, and would be unable to clearly see anything around him. It had been a very long time since he had encountered such a strange object. He used his spiritual sense to investigate and sense the qi in his surroundings, but he did not succeed. That thing's concealment ability was extremely powerful. Suddenly, he heard a faint sound. It was also at this time that a yin-yang array appeared beneath his feet. It quickly revolved, creating an extremely strong suction force, and all the flowers and plants around him were sucked into the yin-yang array, turning into powder. As for the thing that was pouncing on them, it started to spin as soon as it entered the Taiji array's range. Now, Chen Xiang could clearly see what that thing was. It was actually a black panther that looked to be extremely vigorous. This leopard was not big and its eyes were green. Although it had mixed in with the black skin, it looked extremely tough, and Chen Xiang could not understand why the leopard's pouncing speed was so terrifying. After Chen Xiang saw the black panther clearly, he immediately controlled the yin-yang array to speed up the process of sucking the black panther over, wanting to hack it to death with a sword. Who knew that the black panther would jump out the yin-yang array without even taking 2 steps? Who knew where this energy came from? This place is too strange. It's just a small leopard without any power, but it's actually so scary. Chen Xiang looked at his own wound that was healing and felt a bit scared just thinking about it. He was certain that if this leopard were to go to natural law divine realm and meet an ordinary person at the 10th stage of the Dao Zong realm, it would only be possible to kill it. The weeds here were very tall, and that leopard wasn't very big. It was easy to hide inside, and it wasn't easy for Chen Xiang to find that leopard either. Fly into the air. Chen Xiang used the Dao energy in his body to help his body float. But just as he was floating, he felt a pressure suddenly smash down on him, causing him to land heavily on the ground. What's going on? I can't fly. Chen Xiang touched his butt. It was hard to believe. The powerful Dao energy in his body was unable to withstand the pressure. What a strange place. Chen Xiang then attempted to jump. All of a sudden he jumped very high. He was already prepared to deal with the sudden pressure, but after jumping down, he could not feel it at all. You can jump, but you can't fly. Chen Xiang was speechless. The black panther from before did not reappear, and he quickly rushed into the forest. He previously thought that he wasn't weak and didn't need to worry about it here. However, after encountering that black panther, he wasn't as confident. What a Ned place. Chen Xiang went into the forest and cursed a few times in his heart before carefully walking forward. He carefully examined the ground and his surroundings but did not find any traces of beasts, so he was finally relieved. Don't tell me the beasts here are all like that black panther. Their bodies are all very powerful, and they don't have any Dao energy in their bodies, so I am unable to see them using the Dao heart eye. Chen Xiang guessed that since the black panther only knew how to pounce and attack, it did not use any Dao energy to attack from afar. Previously, he had even thought of letting Chu Hongqing and the others bring those small dragons out for a walk. He carefully walked in the forest for an hour. It had been a long time since he had felt so nervous. Even after an hour, he had only walked a little. Suddenly, he felt a faint movement of air in his rear. With just this slight movement of air, he was able to determine that something was flying towards him at a very fast speed. Just when he felt it, he felt his body suddenly lighten, and he was actually thrown away. He thought that he might be injured, but instead he felt his body being held by 2 soft objects. According to his many years of experience, he was immediately sure that it was a woman who was hugging. With just a flash in front of his eyes, Chen Xiang arrived at a huge tree. As expected, it was a woman who was carrying him, and she was even jumping up a tree at an extremely fast speed. C2613. C2613 Pure Text Online Read Local Domain Name Mobile Phone Synchronous Read Please visit Chen Xiang never thought that he would meet a human here, and it was even a woman. Although he did not see her face, but from her bouncy breasts, she seemed to be a beautiful woman. Sure enough, the woman who brought him here had dark skin. She was only wearing a black cloth around her chest and waist, and there were a few pieces of muscles on her lower abdomen that were not too protruding, but were very beautiful. Her arms and powerful long legs looked even more muscular, and looked healthy and beautiful. The woman had a head full of shoulder-length hair. Although her face was somewhat dark, it didn't affect her beauty. However, her beauty carried a bit of wildness and ruthlessness. It was only then that Chen Xiang realized that what was wrapped around her chest and waist was not black cloth, but beast skin. It was the skin of the black panther he had encountered earlier. It was a huntress. Chen Xiang was very sure that they were hunting. Idiot, what are you looking at? The woman glared at Chen Xiang. You almost ruined our good fortune. You are so weak, and yet you are running around everywhere. Are you tired of living? Chen Xiang didn't know what to say for a moment. When he was in the sky martial world, he wasn't weak at all. Even if he had to face the Dao Zong realm, he still dared to fight. So he thought he was pretty strong, but now he was told he was weak. But he thought about it, he didn't know much about this place, and the beasts here were really ferocious. He was scratched by a black panther before. What are you doing? Chen Xiang asked. You'll know when you see it. The woman took out a long spear from the hole in the tree. Upon closer inspection, the tip of the spear looked like the fangs of a beast. The claws of the beasts here were all very strong. When Chen Xiang was facing the black panther previously, his shoulder had been easily sliced off. There was a weapon wrapped in leather stuck on the woman's waist. It was probably a short knife. My name is Chen Xiang. What's your name, miss? Chen Xiang asked softly. The woman immediately glared at him, signaling him not to make a sound. The lady stood on the tree trunk and looked in a direction. Chen Xiang also looked in the direction in front of him. The wolf is still quite big. Chen Xiang was secretly shocked. There were still many sharp thorns on the wolf's back. He looked at the spear in the wild lady's hand, and saw that the thing on the spear was the sharp thorn on the wolf's back. Chen Xiang was also holding his breath. There definitely wasn't just one wolf. Wolf was a social type of beast. As expected, there were several more nearby this wolf. Just as Chen Xiang could see that she was lost in thought, a light breeze blew past. The girl had already thrown out the spear in her hands, and by the time he had reacted, the spear had already pierced the wolf's body. As for the other sword-point wolves, they all had a spear on them. There were others here as well, presumably companions of the woman. So powerful! Just as Chen Xiang finished speaking, the lady turned into a black shadow and ran towards the direction of the direwolf pack. Chen Xiang immediately looked over and in a few blinks of an eye, the lady had leapt from the tree to the wolf pack and pulled out her blade from behind her waist, then stabbed it into the wolf pack's head. This reminded Chen Xiang of his youth when he was hunting beasts. It was just that it was not as fast as it was now. Their speed is close to teleportation. These people don't have any Dao energy on them, and their physical bodies are extremely powerful. Their physical bodies contain terrifying power, so what kind of existence are they? Chen Xiang used his Dao heart eye to look at the few people in front of him. Like the girls, they immediately leapt towards the giant wolf as soon as their spears stabbed into them. Seeing this, Chen Xiang had a lingering fear in his heart. He had almost ran towards the wolves earlier, and being entangled by those wolves, he did not know if he could beat them. Chen Xiang jumped down from the tree, while the woman walked over with a wolf on her back. None of them had any storage magic treasures, so it seemed that they did not know how to refine them, and even the weapons they used were primitive. You are called Chen Xiang. Who are you? The woman asked. I am. I don't know why I'm here either. Chen Xiang had already seen that the humans here were all of the very primitive kind. Primitive land. The woman continued in a low voice, Come with me. You must have come from a foreign land. There were people like you in the past, but they didn't last long. The corpses of the weak like you were nothing to us. Chen Xiang followed behind the lady and asked, Do you want me to help you carry them? The woman said, There's no need. If you're carrying it, you won't be able to run fast if you encounter any danger. Since he was looked down upon so much, Chen Xiang started to feel displeased. Right, what's your name? Chen Xiang asked. Ji Welon. She suddenly turned around and looked at the few brawny men behind her. You should stay away from them from now on. Why? Chen Xiang asked. If I hadn't suddenly brought you up the tree, you would have definitely continued walking forward. When that happens, you would have been attacked by those wolves, and those fellows would have attacked the wolf pack when they attacked you. They don't care if you live or die. Maybe their spears will even pierce through your body. Ji Yuelan's words made Chen Xiang frown deeply. It's not like this has never happened before. A weak chicken like you, if you're not careful, will be used by them as bait to lure beasts. Chen Xiang was now certain that the other end of heavenly evil abyss was this primitive land. This primitive land did not look simple at all. Humans and beasts were very strong, but they were all in their most primitive stages. Could it be that the humans and beasts here all have primitive Tao power S in their bodies? Chen Xiang suddenly thought of this. He had previously been unable to see the primitive Tao power when he was using the Tao Heart Eye, so he felt that it was very possible. I'm not weak. Chen Xiang snorted. Don't look down on me, I am just not familiar with this place. Once I become familiar with it, I will be able to easily hunt beasts. The people here were all primitive, but he had mastered all sorts of methods to utilize his strength. This was his advantage. For example, he had used the yin-yang array to counter the Black Panther's pounce. Many of the foreign cultivators said so, but they all died later on. Ji Yuelan did not believe Chen Xiang's words. If you don't want to die, follow me closely. Yulan, you're such a nice person. Chen Xiang laughed. I just don't want you to fall into the hands of those guys. Ji Yuelan said coldly. What, aren't they your companions? Chen Xiang felt that it was strange, as he was extremely hostile towards the few men behind him. No, we are from the same tribe. I originally was part of another hunting team, but the rest of my team was injured and they were lacking one person, so they signed me here. Fortunately, it was only this time. Ji Yuelan said. C-2614. C-2614 Chen Xiang was secretly delighted. The reason why Ji Yuelan treated him so well was definitely because of his good looks. She was a woman, so she should have been wary of men, but right now she was very close to Chen Xiang. Yulan, can you bring me back to your tribe like this? Chen Xiang asked. I can bring whoever I want. The tribe doesn't care. From Ji Yuelan's valiant attitude, she should have quite a high position in the tribe. Ji Yuelan carried the giant wolf on his shoulder. He was dressed in a wild attire and looked extremely fierce. Of course, Chen Xiang had met with such women before. I have a purpose in bringing you back to the tribe. If you are just a useless person, I will kick you out. Ji Yuelan said. She seemed to be able to see what Chen Xiang was thinking. Don't be so realistic, all right? Chen Xiang immediately said. What is his purpose? Just tell me here. If I'm really useless, then you don't need to bring me back to the tribe. Ji Yuelan said. I know that those who come from outside this region can understand some strange things. For example, they can release flames, make water come out of thin air, and even freeze. Furthermore, they have something very magical. This thing is very small, but it can contain a lot of things. That's true. Could it be that in your eyes this is magical? Chen Xiang was a little surprised. The barbarians here did not know these methods, but they were so powerful. Do you set fire to it? Ji Yuelan asked. She was very curious about this, since she was a very strong woman. If she could grasp this, it would make her stronger. This kind of strong woman always liked to do things that others couldn't. Of course. It's easier for me than farting. Chen Xiang giggled. Do you want me to set a fire right now for you to see? Don't. Ji Yuelan's beautiful eyes lit up and said anxiously. Wait until we return to the tribe, don't let anyone else know that you know how to set fires. Chen Xiang looked at the few people behind him and said softly. They are behind, they should have heard it already. They can't hear. I have previously grasped a mystical technique that allows the power within my body to spill out and form a formless energy circle. Now you and I are both in this energy circle, so our voices will not be transmitted out. Ji Yuelan's words piqued Chen Xiang's interest. Did you learn this technique from someone from a foreign land? She didn't want others to know that Chen Xiang knew how to use fire. She was worried that Chen Xiang would get head away because she only hoped that Chen Xiang would teach her a lesson. Yes, but that person died later on. That guy was very stupid. In the tribe, he let many people know that he mastered many strange techniques and was eventually killed by someone. Ji Welon said. What else did you learn from him? Chen Xiang was a little curious. Just who would come here? Could it be someone from the heavenly evil world? That's it, it's not easy to learn either. This guy can release flames, but it's very complicated. I don't understand it at all, and he's also not very familiar with how to control flames. Ji Welon said. Originally, Chen Xiang wanted to ask him a few things, but Ji Welon gave him a look to stop talking, because the few people behind him had already caught up, because he saw that they seemed to be talking, but he could not hear anything. Just like this, without saying a word, Chen Xiang followed Ji Welon to her tribe, which was called Ji tribe. There were thousands of people there, which was considered big, and they were all very stu. The Ji tribe was located inside a mountain and lived in a cave. Ji Welon herself had a mountain, and this mountain only had her cave abode. In the middle of the mountain was a very size area, and that was the tribal market. There were many people who would go there to trade and trade. Yulan, I thought all the girls in your tribe were as strong as you. I just saw a few of them on the road and they were all very weak. Chen Xiang said. Although weak, they can still hunt. Of course, if you were to marry out and give birth to children, your strength would generally weaken. Those women you saw were all from other clans. Ji Welon said. Female warriors like me are becoming fewer and fewer. Within the main clan, most of them choose to marry into the other clans at the age of 15, so right now there are only a very small number of women in our tribe. Chen Xiang nodded. No wonder those girls I saw were a little different from you. They looked like they wars. Pedu. As long as I'm strong, I can be like a man. As long as I'm strong, I'll be respected here. I can marry a few women at any time if I want to. Ji Welon took out a blade and killed the huge wolf. Marry a woman. Chen Xiang suddenly felt that it was funny, but he did not finish his sentence. This Ji Welon was indeed fierce. You'll set fire to it, won't you? Can you roast these meat? Ji Welon had already sliced up the wolf meat. She was only cutting out a relatively tasty part. We'll eat these meat ourselves. The bones will make the soup, and I'll trade the rest for medicinal herbs. Some people like to eat organs. Ji Welon looked at the wolf skin that she peeled off and then threw it to the side. It seemed that she did not like the wolf skin. Yulan, do you want to wear clothes like this? Chen Xiang looked at Ji Welon's fiery hot body. Although her current dressing was very pleasing to the eyes, Chen Xiang did not want too many people to see it. Ji Welon only covered his chest and waist with 2 pieces of simple beast skins and wore the shoes made from beast tendon. It was very simple. He felt that those 2 pieces of cloth would fall if he was not careful. Not good at all. Ji Welon looked at the gray and somewhat tattered clothes that Chen Xiang was wearing. When Chen Xiang was sucked into the heavenly evil abyss, his clothes were already torn. That's because my clothes are broken. When Chen Xiang entered the tribe, he saw that the people inside were dressed in simple beast skins to cover some of their body parts. Do you have this black beast skin? Let me make you a set of clothes. Chen Xiang said. He felt that the people here were too outdated, and did not know how to dress at all. Ji Welon took out a large pile of this beast skin from a wooden bucket and threw it to Chen Xiang. After Chen Xiang received it, he said, I had thought that these beast skins were very tough. I didn't think they would be so fragile. Just now, he had used the heavenly magic sword to slash it open. Don't tell me that clothes can also be used for defense? Ji Welon asked very seriously. She seemed to know that there were many strange things about the people who came from another realm. C2615. C2615 in Chen Xiang's world, clothes could be used for a lot of defense, especially that kind of soft armor that was refined. Not only was it comfortable to wear, it could also protect against attacks. Chen Xiang made Chu Hongqing find a beautiful black-colored skin-tight clothes for the girls to wear. This was also made by Xue Xianxian and the others using many superior materials. You should go to bed. These clothes are a bit strange. Although they look a bit small, they can be used to support the body. Moreover, it will be warm in winter and cool in summer. It also has a certain level of defense. The skin-tight set of clothes that Chen Xiang had taken out was indeed a little small. It was, after all, worn by Chu Hongqing. This Ji Welan was as big as Chen Xiang, and he was slightly pet. 1T. How do I wear it? Ji Welan took it and touched it. It was very soft and comfortable, and she could smell a faint fragrance from it. She liked the smell very much, and immediately liked this set of clothes, although she did not know if it looked good on her. Chen Xiang took out another set of his, and it was a bit larger. He put on his pants and clothes respectively, and then used a beautiful belt to tie them around his waist. Chen Xiang had always had a very handsome appearance. If he was serious and sorry, he would be very attractive to women. Do you understand now? After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he took out another pair of boots and gave it to her. Ji Welan nodded his head and then very casually ripped off the beast skins around his chest and waist. This scared Chen Xiang to the point that his heart almost stopped beating. Of course, if he did not see the other party being so generous, he would be too apologetic to Ji Welan, so he looked at Ji Welan with an unchanged expression. Oh right, I'll go wash myself first. Are you coming? Right by the river, Ji Welan said, and then he wrapped himself around those 2 pieces of beast skins. This. Are you always so casual? Chen Xiang caught his breath and laughed. No, I can show it to whoever I want. I just don't hate you. Ji Welan said very straightforwardly, I thought you would turn around. If you want to take a bath, you don't need to go to the river. I can release water for you to take a bath. After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he raised his hand high up into the air, and water flowed out of the center of his palm. Ji Welan was startled. She was extremely surprised. Didn't you say you know how to release flames? Fire and water are incompatible, but you can release both? My flames are mainly used for fighting, and the water isn't that strong. This isn't a problem for me, so quickly wash up, Chen Xiang said. Sure enough, Ji Welan immediately tore off the beast skin on her body. This time, Chen Xiang consciously turned his head around, and after Ji Welan had finished was plussing himself, Chen Xiang took out a large bath basin for her to soak in. Ji Welan, who was immersed in it, enjoyed the feeling of closing his eyes and said quietly, You sure have a lot of tricks up your sleeves. I didn't save you for nothing. I only treat you well because you were kind. Of course, if you don't attack me, I might not die. I'm not as weak as you think, said. Previously, he had always been looked down upon by this woman, which made him a little unhappy in his heart. Ji Welan did not say anything. Only the chief and his descendants can enjoy this. Only I, who usually have to go out to hunt for beasts, can continue to stay in the clan. Ji Welan said, Even if I were outside, I would still be in constant danger. Most of the experts from the other realms have all died. After showering, Ji Welan wore the beautiful tight clothes that Chen Xiang had given her. She looked extremely handsome at the moment. Of course, besides caring about the looks, Ji Welan was also very concerned about the defense that Chen Xiang mentioned. She tried out the spike on the wolf's back, and was very surprised to see that the thin clothes weren't pierced through. She had always thought that only some kind of beast armor could do such a thing, but those armor were extremely stiff. Chen Xiang was already roasting the meat. He also wanted to taste the beast meat. After eating, he was sure that all the beasts here contained primitive Tao power. This proved his conjecture that the humans and beasts here all had very strong primitive Tao power in their bodies, so even if they did not know how to release their elemental energy, their bodies were still very strong. Chen Xiang didn't know what kind of world this was. The person who grew up in here actually had such a strong primitive Tao power. Yulan, what is your relations? Hi plus P with the patriarch? Chen Xiang asked. This is bad. Ji Yulan said. What are you trying to do? No. I just want to ask you about this world. It's fine if you don't have a good relations. Hi plus P with him. Chen Xiang said. You want to go back to your world? Ji Yulan saw through Chen Xiang's intention with a glance. Of course. I have very important things to do in my world. Chen Xiang sighed. He had somehow come to this place, and it made him very vexed. I know one thing. I heard my grandfather say before that the world we live in is the beginning of 10,000 worlds, the first form of all worlds. Our world will forever retain this state. Ji Yulan said, there are many foreign lands outside the sect. Initially, those foreign lands were like us, but later they evolved in all kinds of ways. Did your grandfather say how to leave this place? Chen Xiang asked. No, he himself also wanted to leave this world. He said this world had great restrictions on him. Ji Yulan shook his head. What about your grandfather? Can you take me to see him? Chen Xiang asked anxiously. He's dead. He was originally the patriarch of Ji tribe, but after he died, my father lost in the fight for the patriarch's position. You must know that those who fight for the clan leader's position will not stay in the tribe if they lose the battle. They will leave for other places as well. Ji Yulan said. Ji Yulan must have been ridiculed since he was young, for her father's defeat. But now she seemed to have become powerful because of him, and received respect from others, so no one mentioned anything about her father anymore. Ji Yulan, you need 3,000 kilograms of beast meat this month. It's been 20 days and you haven't even handed over a kilogram of meat. Where are the wolves you hunted today? A sound came from outside the stone door of the cave. I'm currently eating. Once I recuperate, I will definitely hand over 3,000 beast meat within 10 days. Ji Yulan said impatiently. It required 3,000 kilograms of meat every month, which was not a small amount. But Ji Yulan had not handed in the meat every 20 days. It must have been delayed because of some unknown reason. Chen Xiang guessed that she was injured because of her body, and she said earlier that everyone in her team was injured. See 26:16. See 26:16. When the person outside heard Ji Yulan's tone, he immediately left. Can't I hand it in? He had just eaten a lot of wolf meat, which made him feel a little guilty. Of course, Ji Yulan had eaten more than him. No. Beast meat is mainly used to raise children, and many children in the clan have lost their parents. Warriors like us need to hunt for beast meat for them to eat and raise them, so that they can also become warriors in the future. Besides that, our clan has many heavily wounded warriors who have fought for our tribe before. Now we have to support them as well. Ji Yulan said, when I was young, I grew up eating other people's beast meat, so now is also the time for me to fulfill my obligations. This is a type of inheritance. You said before that your teammates were all injured, right? Are you hurt yourself? Chen Xiang couldn't tell that Ji Yulan was injured, but she looked very energetic. My teammates are more or less dead now. Their bodies are the only thing left, their souls have been destroyed. Although Ji Yulan was expressionless, a trace of sorrow flashed across his eyes. You met a strong beast? Chen Xiang immediately knew that they must have met someone who knew how to use soul attack. He guessed that the people here did not cultivate the divine sense, so they did not know how to use their attributed power, and their soul defense was very weak as well. We don't have that kind of beast here. We've never met one before. Ji Yulan nodded his head. I was lucky, it was just that I was. I in the body, I am pretty much recovered now, but my heart will hurt from time to time. Chen Xiang immediately used the Tao heart eye to look at her heart. Of course, his current appearance was as though he was staring at Ji Yulan's chest. Since Ji Welon had taken off her clothes for him to see just now, he naturally wouldn't have cared. He was only curious. What are you looking at? There's a crack in your heart. Chen Xiang frowned. There is a power that is preventing your heart from recovering, so the cracks in your heart are unable to heal. You can see it? Ji Welon was very surprised. She anxiously asked, Can you cure me? I don't know yet, but it should be possible. Just as Chen Xiang finished speaking, Ji Welon took off his clothes, and the item that suddenly popped out had a huge impact on Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang immediately turned his head and said, There is no need to take off your clothes, quickly put it on. Ji Welon anxiously put on the clothes, while Chen Xiang only had 2 fingers pressing on the location of Ji Welon's chest. Then he used the devouring magic kung fu to suck out the energy that was in her heart. He was able to successfully suck it out, and the moment it was sucked out, Ji Welon also frowned in pain, but she did not scream out loud. Her chest was moving up and down, obviously the pain had not subsided yet. At the same time, Chen Xiang also used his Dao heart eye to observe and discovered that the wound on her heart was quickly healing. The recovery rate of the primitive Tao power is truly amazing. Chen Xiang's body was severely injured earlier, but with the help of the primitive Tao power, it quickly recovered. Alright, how did you do it? Ji Welon felt that this was extremely mystical. Not only could Chen Xiang see the wound in her heart, he could even treat it for her. She felt that she had really picked up a treasure. Tomorrow I will go hunt beasts. Wait for me here for 10 days. After I finish this month's mission, I will take you for a walk. Ji Welon said. I'll go with you. Chen Xiang said. I'm really not weak. Don't tell me you plan to go alone? Ji Welon had already lost her teammates, and she wouldn't be able to find any good teammates for a short period of time. Alright, but you have to listen to me when the time comes. I need a large amount of beast meat, so when you attack, you have to try to keep it safe. Ji Welon said. The people here also gain strength mainly through the meat, which is their food. Chen Xiang nodded, then walked out of the cave. She used the wolf's internal organs and some of its bad meat to exchange for some medicinal herbs to treat her injuries. She gave Chen Xiang a lance and said, You should know how to use this. Chen Xiang looked at the tip of the spear. It was indeed very sharp. He had seen it before. I use this. Chen Xiang took out his heavenly magic sword and laughed. This thing of mine is very powerful. You can make it into a bow and arrow for me. It isn't appropriate to use a bow to hunt a powerful savage beast. The skin of the savage beast is extremely thick, and the strength of the bow is insufficient. Ji Welon said. The bow here may not have good materials, so it did not have enough bounce power. However, Chen Xiang's 9 soaring divine bow would not have to worry about this issue. As long as he had enough Dao power, the bounce power of the bow would be very strong. But Ji Welon still listened to her. She had made more than 20 arrows for Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang now knew how to deal with beasts. It would be best if they were attacking from afar, lying in ambush of beasts. He had met the Black Panther before, so he knew that it was extremely dangerous to engage in close combat with a beast. Where is your bow? Ji Welon said. This is my bow. Chen Xiang raised the heavenly magic sword in his hands and then, under his control, it became a 9 soaring divine bow. It flickered with a red light and looked extremely domineering. How amazing! Ji Welon praised softly, saying, Our clan chief and his descendants also have some strange beings' toys. The clan chief only has a ring that can hold many things. I heard about it from the wife of one of clan chief's sons when I was chatting with him last time. It is said that there is a need to learn how to use that ring. This is for you. Chen Xiang took out a ring, a storage ring, storage bag etc. Although the spatial laws were restricted in this place, the storage magic treasure still had its own spatial laws power, so it could be used. Before, Ji Welon knew how to use his spirit sense to control his power to form a domain. It was when she was in the forest with Chen Xiang, in order to prevent others to hear their conversation. Therefore, Ji Welon was already very familiar with the usage of spirit sense. She only needed Chen Xiang to teach her for a moment to understand how to use it. At this time, Chen Xiang also saw a rare smile on her face, as she placed a lot of things into the cave. In the past, the foreign invaders we met were not as powerful as you. You seem to know everything. Do you have a high position in your world? Ji Welon asked. Well, it's hard to say my position, but in short, the world I live in is pretty good. However, there are always some things that come and cause trouble. I often fight with my enemies, and they are the ones who bring me here. Chen Xiang sighed. Don't worry. Since you can enter this place, you'll definitely be able to leave. I'll think of a way for you. Ji Welon patted Chen Xiang's shoulder. Rest, we will set off for the wild beasts tomorrow. C26:17. C26:17. Ji Welon could understand why Chen Xiang wanted to go back. Although she brought Chen Xiang back with a purpose, she was not a selfish person, and Chen Xiang treated her very well. He even gifted her quite a few good things. Therefore, she had already decided just a moment ago to think of a way to help Chen Xiang return. Chen Xiang slept in a corner. Even though it was only the ground, it was soft and comfortable with a furry beast skin. Although Ji Welon would usually fight and kill people, she would usually make her own cave very tidy, and Chen Xiang would also live very comfortably here. When he woke up on the second day, Chen Xiang could smell the fragrant meat. This was a very big challenge for Ji Welon, but she did not know if she could complete it. After all, this time it was just her and Chen Xiang, and she had an extremely professional team in the past. There were no problems. They also frequently completed missions in advance. The rules in the Ji tribe are very strict, especially against me. If I don't hand in the beast meat when the time comes, they will let some of the children starve for a while. This is a punishment to my heart. Ji Yuelon's expression was stern. Don't they know you're hurt? Chen Xiang frowned. This kind of punishment was indeed the most unbearable. They don't believe me. They're not like you who can see the wound in my heart. My previous injury was even worse, so I had to rest for a while. However, they don't believe me. Ji Welon handed over a plate of meat to Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang had only eaten 2 pieces. He only needed to consume a pill to be able to replenish his own consumption. On the other hand, Ji Welon started to eat in big mouthfuls. In her opinion, the more she ate, the more she would eat, the stronger she got. She was extremely grateful to Chen Xiang, because Chen Xiang had healed her heart, making her unable to endure the sudden pain in her heart during battle. If there was that kind of pain during battle, it would be fatal for her. After they finished eating, Ji Welon brought Chen Xiang out of her cave abode. When she brought Chen Xiang back earlier, it attracted many people's attention. But now that Ji Welon had donned the beautiful tight clothes that Chen Xiang had given her, it made people constantly praise him. It was indeed very beautiful. Do you want to take this weak chicken to the beasts? It would be better to hand him over to the chief, who will learn something from him. A big-sized man said as he looked disdainfully at Chen Xiang. Ji Welon did not care about him, and said to Chen Xiang, "Let's go." After he finished speaking, Ji Welon started sprinting. Her speed was extremely fast, and in the blink of an eye, she was already more than 300 meters away. Chen Xiang immediately caught up. Although he couldn't use his spatial energy anymore, he was still fast enough to keep up with Ji Yuelon's footstep. To be able to become so terrifying just by relying on physical strength, this is indeed incredible. Chen Xiang followed behind Ji Welon, secretly exclaiming in his heart. Right now, he was also channeling primitive Tao power into his limbs and bones, allowing his body to be more agile and strong. She was considered a first-rate warrior in the tribe, and in terms of speed, she was even faster than the other warriors. Thus, Chen Xiang's current speed was no longer inferior to the warriors in Ji tribe. In the end, my physical body is not strong enough. If my physical body is strong enough, my primordial profound gate will open at full strength, and I will need to use even more primitive Tao power. My speed and strength will increase greatly, and I will need to refine more Dao Ji. Oh, the Emperor Yuan Dan. It would be difficult for Chen Xiang to catch up with him now, but Ji Welon was extremely relaxed. Of course, if he were to use the power of S.P. A.C., that would not be a problem at all. After an hour, Ji Welon suddenly stopped. She and Chen Xiang were already far away from the tribe, and now that she had the storage ring that Chen Xiang gave her, even if she managed to hunt a lot of beasts, she could easily bring it back, and thinking about it, she felt much more at ease. Do you want to rest? Ji Welon asked. No need. Chen Xiang wasn't actually tired, but he felt that his own body was too weak. He had enough primitive Tao power, but he couldn't use it. Good, you are much stronger than I imagined. This is indeed a rare sight. Before, when I saw the humans from the other realms, they were all extremely weak. Ji Welon nodded at Chen Xiang. Next, we will prepare to hunt beasts, and it's even a herd of beasts. Yulan, you've discovered that there are beasts here? Chen Xiang asked anxiously. He did not notice anything along the way. There are about 10 bears in this mountain. Each one weighs at least 300 to 400 genes. We only need to kill one and we will be able to complete the mission. Ji Welon thought about it again and again, and felt that he had to hunt large-sized beasts in order to complete the quest within 10 days. Only one. How could that be enough? Can't we just kill them all? Chen Xiang laughed. Since they are here. The bears here aren't like those wolves. There are strong and weak beasts as well, not to mention that we're only 2 people right now. Ji Welon said. To be able to kill one is already not bad. She and Chen Xiang attacked from afar and killed a bear. Then, she rushed over and put the corpse into her storage ring, then quickly escaped. In the past, she didn't have a storage ring, so she would always carry it after killing it. She told her thoughts to Chen Xiang, who said, If that's the case, then I can kill all those bears in the distance too. This won't do. Although those bears have large bodies, their speed is very fast. Also, some thorns will fly out from their mouths and fly over like rain. If they get hit, they will even die. Ji Welon said. Chen Xiang did not feel anything, but he was extremely familiar with the beasts here. Although they were strong, their brains were relatively simple. So it's like that. Chen Xiang took out the 6 realms mirrors and tested it out. He realized that the array formation inside could be used, but he didn't know if it could defend against beast attack. To his regret, the 6 realms mirrors could not fly as well. After Ji Welon and Chen Xiang finished discussing, they brought Chen Xiang to the group of stone mountains in front of them. There were large and small stones on the stone mountains, making it easier to hide. Do you see that? That's a bear hole. This mountain is huge, and the beasts outside are relatively weaker, but they are very strong for us. Ji Welon lied on top of a big rock, tightly holding onto the spear in his hands. He looked at the bear hole, waiting for the bear to come out. Chen Xiang also took out his 9 soaring sky divine bow and waited. How long will it take? Chen Xiang waited for an hour, and felt that he was getting impatient. I don't know. It might take a few days. I've already prepared food for 10 days. Don't worry. Ji Welon said. Shouldn't we just throw a piece of raw meat into the bear's mouth? Chen Xiang said. Lure them out. It won't be that easy. These bears are very smart. If we do this, it will only raise their vigilance. When the time comes, it will be even harder to kill. Hunters need to be patient. Ji Welon instructed Chen Xiang. How about this? I'll go over and lure the bear out, Chen Xiang said. C2618. C2618. When Ji Welon heard that she was going to be the bait, she looked at Chen Xiang like she was crazy. No, you will only die. You have never seen those bears before, so you don't know how powerful they are. Ji Welon said. Many warriors from our tribes have died here. I want to go back quickly. Chen Xiang wanted to hurry back to the tribe to refine pills. He said. Yulan, believe in me, nothing will happen to you." With that, Chen Xiang rushed over. Ji Welan did not expect that. Just as she wanted to go out and stop Chen Xiang's voice suddenly came from her mind. "Yulan, don't move. Just wait for the attack." Yulan was extremely shocked that Chen Xiang's voice could actually appear in her mind. This was a pretty good technique. Just as she was in a daze, Chen Xiang had already neared the bear cave, and she could only choose to believe in Chen Xiang. If not, she would go over again to save Chen Xiang. This guy only knows how to mess around. Ji Welan held her spear tightly, staring at the bear hole. Her hearing was good, and she could already hear the sound of running from the bear hole. When Chen Xiang arrived at the mouth of the bear cave, he discovered that the cave was very big, and there was the sound of running from inside. "It's out!" Chen Xiang was shocked. He only saw a large black figure suddenly appear. The bear that weighed a few thousand kilograms was very big, but its speed was so fast that it made people tongue-tied. "Damn! This guy is even faster than that leopard." Chen Xiang was very surprised, but what made him even more shocked was, there were more than 5 or 6 bears that suddenly ran out. Roar! A roar shook the heavens and the earth, and then, with a bang, a bear fell down, making Chen Xiang even more surprised. In that moment, Ji Welan shot a bear in the distance. Chen Xiang was running in a certain direction while being chased by a few bears. Seeing this, Ji Welan, who was in the distance, became extremely worried and immediately chased after the bear that she killed, not caring about it at all. Furthermore, he even started to shout loudly, attracting the attention of Chen Xiang's bears. "Be careful, they're going to shoot spikes out of their mouths," Ji Welan shouted. Chen Xiang also heard the dull roars of the bears. He immediately used the heavenly spirit Kunfu's cloud and cloud constellation to turn his body into mist. Shoo! 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 Suddenly, a wave of sharp thorns covered the sky and pierced Chen Xiang. Ji Welan gritted his teeth and said in his heart, "It's over." At the same time, Ji Welan was also in danger, and a few more bears ran out from the bear hole. Just when she thought that Chen Xiang was done for, she saw Chen Xiang strangely approach those few bears from behind. "Sword-winged tiger, come out!" Chen Xiang took out the 6 realms mirrors and shone it onto the ground. "Don't fly, just use your sword to stab these guys to death." In a flash, the sword-winged tiger suddenly appeared. The sword-winged tiger's body was much bigger than these bears, and it was not weak either, especially since he had a pair of mystical sword wings on his body. Chen Xiang released the sword-winged tiger, then took out an arrow and pulled it all over his bow. He injected the primitive Tao power into the divine bow and shot it at the giant bear behind Ji Welan. Swaz! H! Plus the bowstring vibrated. The sharp arrow shot out like a beam of light, piercing through a bear's head. Ji Welan's movements were also extremely fast, flash. Hi! Plus-ing towards a bear like lightning, and thrusting his spear towards the giant bear that was about to open its mouth and shoot spikes. When the sword-winged tiger came out, its sword wings flapped, and countless divine swords flew out. In an instant, those bears that were much smaller than him were speared like hedgehogs. Chen Xiang's second arrow had already shot out, and with the activation of the primitive Tao power, the 9 soaring divine bow, under the power of the primitive Tao power, produced a very strong force. Not only did it pierce through the bear's head, it even flew into the distance and pierced deeply into the mountain. Ji Welan had also killed 2 huge bears, and she could have been nervous just now. After all, she was at the bear cave entrance, but under such a tense and dangerous situation, her potential had also exploded. 6 sword-winged tiger were killed, 6 were killed, 2 were killed by Chen Xiang and 3 were killed by Ji Welan. And this all happened in a very short period of time. What is this thing? Ji Welan took a few deep breaths, then looked at the sword-winged tiger and said. The golden giant tiger had a pair of huge sword wings, making it look mighty and holy. This was the first time she had seen this kind of thing, and also the first time she felt that beasts could look so good. The guy I subdued, laughed. The sword-winged tiger kept the swords he released, and then entered the Six Realms Mirror's body. Ji Welon originally wanted to ask something, but his expression suddenly changed. Someone is truly coming closer. Put the bear's body away. Chen Xiang was the quickest one, and he immediately sent all of the bears that the sword-winged tiger killed back into the storage magic treasure. Moreover, Ji Welon had just put away the three-headed bear, yet there were already more than 10 groups of muscular men riding on giant black wolves. When the battle just broke out, the cries of the dozen or so bears were so loud that they shook the earth and moved far away, attracting the attention of people. Isn't this Ji tribe's Ji Welon? Oh, there's a storage magic treasure inside, must be a gift from this foreign land. When they arrived, they just happened to see Ji Welon keep the bear's corpse into his storage ring. Ji Welon's face was extremely solemn. It was obvious that she was afraid of these people. Let's go. Ji Welon pulled Chen Xiang, and just as he was about to run away, he was stopped by a few dy men riding wolves in front of them. What do you want? Your Zhou clan is also a big clan. Ji Welon shouted in anger. Leave the bears, rings, and weapons behind and you can leave. The leader of the strong men said, This place is the territory of our Zhou tribe. Hunting beasts here is equivalent to offending our Zhou tribe. I am already very polite that I didn't kill you. What right do you have to say that we are from your Zhou clan? Ji Welon held his pike tightly. These people were obviously hing something away from him. With just my blade, don't talk nonsense. Do you want to give it to me? The brawny man's expression was ferocious, shouting loudly. I shouted 3 times, kill if you don't give us the chance. Ji Welon clenched his teeth. 1, 2, 3. Just as Ji Welon shouted out, he felt a wave of heat coming towards him, only to see the dy man's head and chest pierced through by a flame. Ji Welon was startled, but immediately reacted. The spear in his hand immediately flew out, piercing through a big-sized man's head. Are you crazy? He is the youngest son of the Zhou clan head. You're dead for sure. Their opponent had already been scared stiff. They had never thought that Chen Xiang, this outsider, would be so powerful. With just a punch from him in the air, he killed their captain. Who knows, I'll kill all of you, Chen Xiang said with a cold smile, but when he punched just now, he had already thrown a small 6 realms mirrors into the crowd. C2619. C2619. If he had enough strength, it would be best if he could beat his opponent. Ji Welon did not think that she and Chen Xiang could defeat his opponent together. Therefore, she decided to compromise, but did not expect Chen Xiang to suddenly make a move, which made her surprised. www.xstxt.org. Don't even think about leaving today, said coldly. The 6 realms mirrors had suddenly become very big under his control, and the 10 odd people in front of him were all on top of the 6 realms mirrors mirror. This was the first time they had ever seen something like this. Go back and tell the family head. A big-sized man shouted. Just as he finished speaking, they suddenly spun, and the 6 realms mirrors killing array activated. Go to HELL. Chen Xiang came to the side of the 6 realms mirrors, and pressed on the circular-shaped stage with one hand. He continuously transferred primitive Tao power. The primitive Tao power was extremely powerful, causing the killing array of the 6 realms mirrors to be extremely terrifying. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed out of the bright mirror of the 6 realms mirrors, striking the giant wolves and humans on it, causing them to continuously howl. Chen Xiang pulled the 9-layered sky divine bow, and the flame profound door in his body opened wide. Flaming Tao energy surged out, sing through the 10 layers of profound doors and condensing into a flame arrow. Go to HELL. Chen Xiang aimed at one of them and an arrow shot out. An intense flame burst out and burnt that person to ashes. Seeing this, Ji Welon immediately threw out his spear to kill the Stu. Dy men. In just a short while, all of these dozens of warriors from the Zhou tribe were killed by Chen Xiang and Ji Welon. Those huge wolves were also killed. The meat of these giant wolves should be pretty good. It's all carefully fed. Chen Xiang walked over, kicked one of the wolves, then set fire to all of their corpses. Ji Welon let out a long sigh. Just now, when he killed all those bears, she was extremely nervous, and not long after, he had actually killed the Zhou clan warriors who were much stronger than those bears. You really aren't weak. At this time, Ji Welon had a lot of faith in Chen Xiang. She had indeed underestimated Chen Xiang, and did not expect him to be so powerful. Today was such a bountiful day. Chen Xiang laughed out loud. These guys were all killed by us. From the looks of it, no one should know. I don't think so. I just noticed that there's no one around here. Ji Welon hurriedly hid the corpses of the huge wolves and cleaned up the area. We can go back now, Ji Welon said. I only handed in one bear to complete the mission. I didn't expect it to be so early. Right now, she had Serpa, as said the limits of her abilities. 11 bears and a dozen giant wolves. This was truly a great harvest. It was also her biggest gain in history. Chen Xiang looked at the depths of the stone mountain and said, "Let's go in there for a look after a while. If there really is a strong savage beast inside, then there might be something hidden inside." To be able to give birth to a powerful savage beast here meant that there was a certain level of power that allowed a savage beast to be strong and numerous. Alright, let's head back first. Maybe there will be people coming over later. Ji Welon said, as long as no one saw her and Chen Xiang killing those people, she did not need to worry. They only left for a short while, but they already reaped a lot. When they returned, many people thought that they didn't manage to hunt anything. Inside Ji Welon's cave, she was peeling off the skin of a giant bear. She kept these skin for herself, so she only needed to give the meat to the tribe. This bear's meat has more than 700 pounds. After Ji Welon finished his work, he said, I never thought that these bears would actually condense gems. Gem. Chen Xiang walked over to take a look. It was a fist-sized, transparent, and extremely dy transparent pearl. This was obviously the beast core of a savage beast. This is good stuff. Chen Xiang took it and looked at it. Contained a large amount of primitive Tao power, and this kind of primitive Tao power was very different from the ones he was familiar with. Kill all the bears. Give me the beast cores if you have them. Chen Xiang said, I have great use for it. This is called a beast core? What's the use? I only know that this is usually used for decoration. Ji Welon said, It can make me stronger. Chen Xiang said. He was only at the 5th stage of Dao S. HI plus realm. In addition, he still had to cultivate the Dao G. O. D gold body. This beast core contained a type of primitive Tao power that could strengthen the body, which was why the beasts here were so strong. He intended to refine this beast core together with the Dao God Emperor Yuan Dan. This way, he would not only have the ability to strengthen his body, but also cultivate the primordial profound gate. Ji Welon had a storage ring which could store more things. Right now, she could only take 3,000 kilograms of meat to hand over. Inside the cave, Chen Xiang was holding onto the beast core and absorbing the primitive Tao power inside it. The moment that type of primitive Tao power entered his body, it immediately burrowed into his muscles and tendons, providing them with a strange type of power, strengthening his body. There is indeed a type of power that can strengthen the body very quickly. If I were to use alchemy to refine this power, it would be even more obvious. Chen Xiang kept the beast pill. He planned to make Ji Welon create a secret room for him to concoct pills when Ji Welon comes back. They waited for Ji Welon to return. Instead, they waited for a large group of strong men to break in. "What are you guys doing?" Seeing the stance of this group of people, Chen Xiang knew that something was amiss. "Come and catch you," one of the men said and immediately rushed forward. Chen Xiang anxiously dodged. The stone room in the cave was very small, with the exit blocked. It would not be easy to escape. "Where's Ji Yuelon?" Chen Xiang asked anxiously. "Why are you capturing me?" "Because Ji Yuelon stole the Patriarch's storage ring. She said that you gave it to her, so the Patriarch thinks that you and Ji Yuelon stole his things. He wants to capture you too." After the big man finished speaking, the other big men also rushed forward. Just as they were walking over, Chen Xiang suddenly jumped, in an instant turning into a small rock, and borrowed the force of the jump to jump out of the cave. These people were all savages in Chen Xiang's eyes. Although they were powerful, if he were to run, these savages would not be able to do anything to him. "Yulan was actually captured. I gave her a storage ring. I really harmed her." Chen Xiang also thought about how precious that storage ring was. In this primal world, such a thing was considered a treasure. As Ji Yuelon had said before, with this storage ring, it would make it much easier for her to hunt wild beasts. As long as she killed the wild beast, she could get close to it and collect it before escaping. As long as you are a human, you will always have a greedy heart. As long as you are a human, you will always have a greedy heart. Chen Xiang sighed in his heart. The human heart is evil. He turned into a bug crawling on the ground. He wanted to turn into a bug, but the world couldn't fly, so he didn't try. Save Yulan first. Chen Xiang never thought that such a thing would happen so suddenly, and had even messed up his plans. C-2620. C-2620. All of the warriors in Ji tribe were looking for Chen Xiang. They had to obey the Patriarch's orders. Because the Patriarch's strength was very strong, they all respected the strong. Although they felt that it wasn't good for the Patriarch to catch Ji Yuelon like this, they had no choice. Chen Xiang, who had transformed into a small bug, carefully entered the cave that the Patriarch was in, right in the middle of the Ji tribe. Ji Yuelon was imprisoned inside, and not long after he entered, he heard Ji Yuelon cursing. "Ji Yun, you be. A-S-T-A-R-D, you shameless fellow, don't think that everyone in the clan will believe you. Did you know your prestige has already dropped?" When Chen Xiang heard Ji Yuelon's angry voice, he immediately went over, only to see Ji Yuelon being locked up in a big cage. The cage was made of beast bones, and all the beast bones were the same, even though Ji Yuelon had a lot of strength, but they could not open it. Ji Yun was not here, so he could not hear his voice. "Moon mist," Chen Xiang whispered to Ji Yuelon. Ji Yuelon heard Chen Xiang's voice resounding in his head, and was slightly startled, asking anxiously, "Where are you? They went to capture you, are you alright?" "It's fine, those guys can't do anything to me." Chen Xiang laughed and turned into his human form. Ji Yuelon had seen a small bug just now, but she never thought that it was Chen Xiang who changed into it. She was once again witnessing Chen Xiang's miraculous abilities. Chen Xiang took out the heavenly magic sword and easily cut open the cage. Although the beast bones were stiff, it was nothing to the heavenly magic sword. "Yulan, let's go. We just have to stay far away from Ji tribe," Chen Xiang said. "No, if I leave, the children here will be miserable. All along, this B-A-S-T-A-R-D Ji Yun has always wanted to kill some of the children so that they wouldn't have to bear the burden." Ji Yuelon shook his head. "Okay, kill Ji Yun." Chen Xiang had never seen Ji Yun before, so he did not know how strong he was. Ji Yun was mainly worried that I would become stronger than him, all because of my carelessness. He did not hide the storage ring well, and when he saw that I had a storage ring, he was worried that I would rely on it to hunt more beasts. Ji Yuelon said, "That's why he has always restricted the growth of soldiers, worried of threatening his position as clan leader. Because as long as you have sufficient strength to challenge him and defeat him, you can become the clan head. Right now, his strength is very strong, so I cannot win against him. I might not be able to. Let's give it a try first. If you can't win, then run. Chen Xiang said. He was not worried at all. These primitive people did not understand array formations. If he wanted to run, it would be a piece of cake. Are you sure? Although you are not someone from the Ji tribe, you can still challenge him. Ji Welon said. I've never seen your patriarch before, but seeing how worried he is that his position will be taken by the younger generation, he shouldn't be any powerful individual. He must have AR dead mentality. Chen Xiang laughed. Come, let's go and challenge him. Right now, the entire tribe was searching for Chen Xiang, but they didn't expect that Chen Xiang and Ji Welon would actually come out of the patriarch's cave. So many warriors immediately surrounded them. Chen Xiang saw Ji Yun. He was a middle-aged man, just like the other men here, both tall and muscular. Ji Yun was besieged by more than 10 warriors. Not only did he run away, he even quietly went into his cave and released Ji Welon. Clan leader, the storage ring was given to Ji Welon by me. Chen Xiang said. You misunderstood her. Then where did my storage ring go? My storage ring just disappeared and now it's in her hand. If she didn't steal it, then who did? Ji Yun's voice was loud. At this time, the people of the tribe all surrounded them. They all knew that the patriarch had a very magical ring that could store many things inside. All the warriors in the tribe glared at Chen Xiang and Ji Welon. They all hated thieves, especially those who stole precious things from their clan leaders. Under their glares, Chen Xiang suddenly took out a bunch of storage rings and said, Clan leader, I have a lot of these storage rings. Since Ji Welon saved me, why not I give one to her? She thought that these things were very precious. She did not expect Chen Xiang to be able to take out a large handful of these items so casually. Ji Yun and the others were stunned. All of these storage rings were actually in the hands of one person. Of course, I don't only have a storage ring, I also have a storage bag. With that, Chen Xiang took out many more storage bags. Storage bracelet, storage necklace, storage belt, storage earring. I have them all. He took them out one by one, leaving everyone dumbstruck. All of these things were ACCU. Mulat over the years by Chen Xiang, and these things were not precious things in the first place. Now everyone believes that I gave it to Ji Welon. Patriarch, you must have misunderstood, there is someone else who stole your storage ring. Chen Xiang said. With that, Chen Xiang gave Ji Welon a spatial necklace. This necklace is very suitable for you, very beautiful. Ji Yun was speechless. He had purposely kept the storage ring on purpose in order to frame Ji Welon, and had even thought that Chen Xiang was infatuated with Ji Welon's beauty, which was why he gave the precious storage ring to Ji Welon. Patriarch, it was you who put away the storage ring and purposely framed me, right? Ji Welon said. Now that everyone believed her, it was her turn to counterattack. No, I really lost my ring. Ji Yun was actually extremely calm as he promptly said, Looks like I really have misunderstood. Yulan, you have contributed so much to our tribe over the years, so you definitely aren't the one who is stealing things. I have wrongly blamed you. Who stole it? The ones that can only go near you are your descendants. Don't tell me they stole it? The thief must definitely find it and then behead it. Ji Welon was very angry. Right, grab it and chop it off. A soldier shouted. Behead him. The other warriors also shouted, causing Ji Yun's forehead to perspire. Chen Xiang laughed. Clan leader, perhaps you were the one who was hiding here. If it's really like this, then we need to behead him. Don't talk nonsense, I'm the clan leader, how could I do that? Right, this is a matter within our clan, don't meddle in it. Ji Yun glared at Chen Xiang. It was all because of Chen Xiang that his plan failed. At this time, Ji Yun's descendants were also staring at Chen Xiang in anger. Those few descendants of his should know quite a lot of things. Patriarch, I want to challenge you, Chen Xiang suddenly said. Yulan said, "Your G tribe allows outsiders to challenge me. Once I defeat you, I can become an elder of the G tribe, and also nominate a warrior from the G tribe as the clan leader, right?" C2621. C2621 Ji-yun was shocked upon hearing Qin Xiang's word. He did not know how strong this man was. Even though he looked weak, he had many good things with him. In particular, those storage rings made him want to obtain them all. "That's right, but when you challenge me, you need to give 20,000 kilograms of beast meat to my G tribe. Only then will you have the qualifications to challenge me." Ji-yun calmed down and said, "To many of the warriors of the tribe, it was not easy to weigh 20,000 kilograms of beast meat." "All right, no problem." Chen Xiang immediately agreed. The matter of stealing the ring was over. Although many warriors had their doubts about the chief, their strength was not as strong as him. Even if they worked together, it would still be difficult for them to win against the chief, not to mention that the grandson of the chief was also very strong. When Ji Welan and Chen Xiang returned to the cave, they started to slaughter the huge bears, wanting to collect 20,000 kilograms of beast meat. "We have to win. Otherwise, the beast meat will go to the patriarch and his descendant. Their family has been using up a lot of the beast meat for many years, so their strength is constantly increasing." Ji Welan said, "Your father defeated him back then. Maybe he secretly did something." Qin Xiang said, "It's just that you guys did not see it. How could this guy defeat your father so openly?" Qin Xiang could tell from Ji Welan's character that she was not bad, and this must be because of her father's influence. "I don't know. Only when I find my father can I ask, and I don't know if he's still alive." Ji Welan also sighed. Very quickly, Chen Xiang and Ji Welan slaughtered 7 huge bears and obtained 20,000 kilograms of beast meat. Chen Xiang also obtained 7 beast cores. On the second day, Chen Xiang and Ji Welan went to the small plaza in the middle of the tribe where 20,000 kilograms of beast meat were placed. At this time, the entire tribe knew that Chen Xiang was going to challenge their clan chief. When Ji Yun arrived and saw the beast meat, he secretly cursed Ji Welan and Chen Xiang. He never thought that these two people would hide so much beast meat. "I'm very strong. If we were to fight in here, it would definitely cause quite a bit of damage. There's a flat land not far away from here. Let's go there and fight." Ji Yun was still very confident in himself, and shouted out without showing any signs of weakness. If he won, he would be able to obtain 20,000 kilograms of beast meat, and if he could drive Chen Xiang, the foreign cultivator, away, he would also gain a lot of prestige. Ji Yun and the others were walking in front, and Ji Welan was currently very nervous, holding on to Chen Xiang so tightly that he was sweating profusely. Chen Xiang held on to her tightly and laughed. "Relax, it's fine. Even if we lose, it's not a big deal. If you lose, you must leave the Ji tribe," Ji Welan said in a low voice. "It's fine. I can live in a random cave outside. Moreover, I can do it nearby. You can find me anytime." Chen Xiang laughed. "Don't talk about that, I haven't lost yet." When they arrived outside the tribe, everyone was watching from afar. Quite a few warriors knew that their chief was very strong. When the battle was going to be fierce, there would be quite a bit of noise. If they were too close, they would be affected. "If you become an elder, do you want Ji Welan to be your patriarch?" Ji Yun asked. "That's right." Qin Xiang nodded. "Since that's the case, if you lose, Ji Welan and you will have to leave our Ji tribe." Ji Yun laughed sinisterly. "Why?" Chen Xiang looked at Ji Welan, who was not far away. Ji Welan's face was ice cold, she was very angry. Ji Yun obviously wanted to kick her out. "Because you are together. According to the rules, losers are not allowed to enter the tribe." Ji Yun said, "I'm ready, let's begin." Ji Yun was very sinister. He said that it had begun, and it really had begun. He had worked his way over in the blink of an eye, and as expected of a clan leader, He did not lack strength, and was also very strong. He was not far from Chen Xiang to begin with, but now, he was in front of him, as if he had teleported. Before Chen Xiang could react, his chest was struck a few times by Ji Yun before he was sent flying by the impact. This old fox. Chen Xiang secretly cursed in his heart. Without specifying the rules, it began. After Chen Xiang was sent flying, he immediately flew over, jumping over from afar with his feet already aimed at Chen Xiang's head. His speed was extremely fast, and when he flew over, it was like a flash of black light. Chen Xiang had already suffered 2 punches. His body was already in pain, but now that the other party was quickly chasing after him, he was still moving at a terrifying speed. Chen Xiang's head was kicked. He had a splitting headache. He did not expect the clan chief's speed to be so fast, and furthermore, the quality of his body was extremely good, something he could not compare with. Chen Xiang was kicked in the head, hitting the stones on the ground, causing many of the stones to shatter. You lost. Ji Yun yelled as he leapt onto Chen Xiang's body. Then, he suddenly descended, and when he fell from the sky, he produced an even stronger force. Chen Xiang looked at Ji Yun, who had fallen from the sky, and sneered in his heart. Although falling from the sky had a very strong force of impact, his speed was not very fast, and was not even as fast as running on the ground. In the air, it was equivalent to a target. Chen Xiang endured the pain and activated the primitive Tao power in his body, combining it with the flame Tao energy released by the fire profound gate. 6th floor of the Devil subduing method. Chen Xiang seized the opportunity, and suddenly punched at the bottom of Ji Yun's feet. Boom! The 2 forces clashed, and Chen Xiang, who was lying on the ground, immediately sank deep into the ground. The stiff stone ground around him also cracked and crumbled as a wave of energy rushed in all directions. Ji Yun was also sent flying by Chen Xiang's punch. When he flew back, his body was still wreathed in flames, and Chen Xiang had just used the meteor immortal power to increase his strength. The 6 consecutive sounds were extremely shocking, and the sounds were still echoing in the sky. As for Ji Yun, who was sent flying by Chen Xiang's fist, fell to the ground with his entire body burning in flames, and was completely charred black. I'm going to kill you! Ji Yun roared. One of his legs had cracked, all the bones in his body had been shattered by Chen Xiang's punch. Chen Xiang laid on the ground and climbed back up with much difficulty. He was also heavily injured. He never thought that the bodies of the humans in this place could be this strong. The warriors of Ji tribe were all surprised to see their clan chief being so powerful, because they rarely saw their clan chief take action. Chen Xiang's strength had also shocked them, to actually be able to cause such heavy injuries to their clan chief. Although Ji Yun had crippled one of his legs, relying on his other leg, he could actually fly over at a relatively fast speed, and punch towards Chen Xiang, who had just crawled up. Chen Xiang's face was struck hard, his head SMAs. HI+ing into the ground, causing his entire body to roll over. What made Chen Xiang surprised was, when the fist struck him, it actually produced some black granules, which brought about a stench. It's poison. This guy used poison. Chen Xiang was astonished in his heart. Back then, when Ji Yun beat Ji Yuelan's father, he had indeed used a certain method. You're dead for sure, ha ha ha. Ji Yun laughed sinisterly and walked towards Chen Xiang. This time, Ji Yun walked over to him. He thought that if Chen Xiang was poisoned, he would not be able to hold on for long, and in order to scare the clan, he planned to ravage Chen Xiang to death slowly. However, Chen Xiang was prepared for it this time, so when Ji Yun stomped his foot on Chen Xiang's chest, he only felt like he stepped on empty air. As if his foot stepped on air, it penetrated through Chen Xiang's body and stepped on a rock. Chen Xiang had wanted to use the Cloud Sky Elephant earlier, but the opponent's speed had always been very fast, so he had only condensed a bit of Tao power before being dispersed. And just now, Ji Yun had given him time. C26-22. c. 26-22. The spectators from afar thought that Chen Xiang's heart had been stepped on. Ji Welan had already bellowed in anger. She wanted to go over, but was stopped by Ji Yun's descendants. You! Just what is this? Ji Yun was startled. He immediately threw a punch at Chen Xiang's head, but the punch still missed. Chen Xiang was like a cloud, although it was scattered, but it quickly merged back together. Don't think I didn't know you were using poison. Chen Xiang sneered, and secretly released the fire Dao energy inside the fire profound gate, turning it into a fire vine, suddenly emerging from the ground and entangling Ji Yun. Go to HELL. The instant that the primitive Tao power Pas said through the first layer of the profound door, it caused his entire body to be in even greater pain, but it also allowed him to become even stronger. Primitive Tao power S that Pas said through the profound doors were rarely terrifying, and when Chen Xiang's divine sense CS surged out, even the earth was trembling. Boom! Chen Xiang's fist smashed towards Ji Yun's chest. The primitive Tao power exploded under Chen Xiang's control and shattered the upper half of his body. Father! A soldier shouted from the distance as he rushed towards Chen Xiang, but was stopped by a few soldiers. Ji Yun's descendants were all stopped by the many warriors, and at this moment, Ji Welan also rushed towards Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang was seriously injured, and after defeating Ji Yun, he could only barely stand. Ji Welan went over and hugged Chen Xiang. He was very excited. You win, Ji Yun and the rest of his family are going to leave Ji tribe. All right. Chen Xiang heaved a sigh of relief, closed his eyes, and fell into a deep sleep. When Chen Xiang woke up, he found that the stone room he was in was decorated extravagantly. There were many gold ornaments, light stones, and his body was also covered with herbs. Fortunately, it's just a physical injury. Divine Sense C is fine. Chen Xiang secretly activated his primitive Tao power, using it to repair the damage to his body. After battling Ji Yun, he had experienced how terrifying it was when his physical body had reached a certain degree of strength. Ji Yun only relied on his physical body's strength. His speed and explosive power was extremely terrifying and almost killed him. After he woke up, he continued to recuperate on the bed. Ji Welan should be taking over the patriarch's affairs now, and she should be the one to distribute the 20,000 kilograms of beast meat. After 3 days, Chen Xiang had more or less recovered. The primitive Tao power was very useful for the recovery of the body. Chen Xiang, are you alright? Ji Welan asked Chen Xiang in concern when he saw him. It's fine. How is the tribe now? Are they satisfied with you, the new patriarch? Chen Xiang laughed and asked. I'm rather satisfied, Ji Welan said. If you have time, you can teach those warriors how to use their spiritual sense, and then use these storage bag. Chen Xiang took out more than 200 storage bags. These were all worthless. The storage rings are meant for fairly outstanding warriors. Chen Xiang took out a few dozen more storage rings, and these things were all stored in his Yu Yao mountain villa for a very long time. Thank you. Ji Welan knew that these things were very important to the warriors in the tribe. It could motivate more warriors and make them stronger. I want to train in seclusion for a while, Chen Xiang said. Seclusion. Ji Welan didn't know what that meant. It means that I need to cultivate in order to raise my strength. Chen Xiang explained simply that he was actually going to concoct pills. All right, I guarantee that it will be very quiet here and that no one will disturb you, Ji Welan said. That's right, if there is such a beast core, you must keep it for me. Chen Xiang said again that beast core could strengthen his body. He was prepared to refine it now. Chen Xiang entered a secret room, which was originally an underground storage room. By refining a pill on a 6 realms mirrors, I can prevent my strength from exploding out. Chen Xiang took out the 6 realms mirrors and had it release an array formation. Chen Xiang knew that the primitive land was definitely hiding something, but without sufficient strength, he couldn't explore around. There were many powerful beasts among them, and if he met any strong beasts, he wouldn't be able to teleport either, which would be extremely dangerous. Chen Xiang placed the beast core that contained the special primitive Tao power into the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace and then urged his fire Tao energy to pass through the 10 layers of profound doors, producing an extremely strong fire Tao energy. It melted. Chen Xiang saw a beast core that was like ice, slowly melting under the blazing fire, forming a gold aura. This type of gold aura rose to where there was no flame on the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace, and after condensing, it shone with an extremely bright gold light. Under the burning of the flames, the beast core quickly became magnificent, and Chen Xiang then put in the Tao God Emperor Yuan Dan's medicinal ingredients. After those medicinal ingredients were refined, Chen Xiang fused them with the beast core qi. The process of fusing was quite smooth. It only took him 2 hours to succeed. Let's see how many crashes we can execute. Chen Xiang was now a little frightened, because he had previously collided with the primitive Tao power, and was severely injured by it that time. Furthermore, that beast core contained a large amount of primitive Tao power and it was rather special. If they were to collide with each other, it would definitely unleash a very strong power. Chen Xiang was not willing to condense a core like this. After going through a crash, its effects would be increased by many times. Let's give it a try. I'm quite strong now, there shouldn't be any problems. Chen Xiang transferred a large amount of primitive Tao power to the 6 realms mirrors and urged it to release a barrier over the pill furnace. It should be possible now. Chen Xiang was very confident in the power of the 6 realms mirrors. Begin. Chen Xiang controlled the 8 medicine crystals to suddenly collide with each other. At the moment of impact, the pill furnace only shook slightly. Success. Chen Xiang was pleasantly surprised. The movements were not too big, it was mainly because of the 6 realms mirrors. Just a moment ago, the 6 realms mirrors had consumed a lot of his primitive Tao power. From the looks of it, it should be able to continue. Chen Xiang decided to carry out the second crash because the barrier released by the 6 realms mirrors was very strong. It was relatively easy to defend against the first crash, but it took much more energy. Of course, the consumption wasn't too much of a problem. Chen Xiang had the primordial profound gate, so he would be able to quickly acquire a large amount from the primordial profound gate. The second level. Moreover, Chen Xiang would fuse the tiny particles that he had rammed into together. After that, he would split them into 8 pieces for his second collision. When he was at the second crash, its power was not small, causing the entire 6 realms mirrors to shake violently. Chen Xiang continued to execute the third stage, and when he reached the third stage, it caused the entire mountain to shake. This made him afraid of continuing with the fourth stage, as he was worried that he would destroy this G tribe. Time to start condensing the pill. Under Chen Xiang's control, everything inside the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace quickly fused together. As long as my primitive Tao power can pass through the third level of the profound door, I'm very satisfied. Right now, Chen Xiang's primitive Tao power could pass through the first layer of the profound door, but it would injure him. If he could pass through the third layer of the profound door without getting hurt, his strength would increase by leaps and bounds. If the effects of this Taoist Emperor Dan were good, he would definitely refine a large amount. C2623. C2623. After Chen Xiang ate the Taoist Emperor Dan, the medicinal power was surprisingly gentle. He had thought that pills that strengthened the body would be tyrannical like this. This was a Djia Dan that had gone through 3 crashes, so this pill had a spirit God, it could quickly refine itself, and display all of its effects. Taoist Emperor Dan had fused with the beast cores of the savage beasts here, and the beast cores had the ability to strengthen the physical body. Now, Chen Xiang could feel that power flowing through his entire body, fusing into his blood, bones and flesh. The speed of enhancement is very obvious. Chen Xiang could feel an itchy feeling in his muscles. After fusing with that power, he would quickly absorb the primitive Tao power S from the primordial profound gate and increase his physical body by another step. The effect is very good. Looks like the primitive Tao power in this primitive land has its own unique features. The beasts here have been absorbed for many years, and the beast cores that have been formed contain this kind of power that can strengthen the body. Chen Xiang had seen how strong the beasts here were before, especially the claws. They were extremely sharp, so he did not want to hurt them earlier. Chen Xiang spent a day of time to finally refine this Taoist Emperor Dan. He only felt that his body was visibly strengthening, and it wasn't just a pill that could make his body suddenly become extremely strong. Seems like I need at least 100 pills before my body can make a breakthrough. I need even more beast cores like that. Chen Xiang only had a little more than 10 beast cores now. Who knew if the giant wolves he killed still existed? Only a sufficiently powerful savage beast would possess such a pill. He did not continue to refine Taoist Emperor Dan. He planned to get 100 beast cores and then refine them in one go. Right now, he was concocting a primordial Tao pill. He wanted to continue to train more of the Tao Profound Door to become a divine law mysterious gate, so that he could use more of the primitive Tao power when the time comes. A few days later, Chen Xiang consumed a lot of primordial Tao pills, and was then created by a Tao Profound Door. Right now, he was at the 6th level of Tao S. HI plus realm. A dimensional profound gate, a flame profound gate, and 8 primordial profound gates. These were his training goals for the Tao S. HI plus realm. Even though I have 4 primitive profound gates, the primitive Tao power inside could not be completely released due to the restriction of my fleshly body. I still have a long way to go before I can raise my fleshly body. Chen Xiang thought, this road must be very bumpy, to be able to endure the primitive Tao power released by his 8 primordial profound gates and Pa S through the 10th layer of the profound entrances. The strength of the body must be unimaginable. After cultivating to the 10th stage of the Tao S. HI plus realm, I will go out to hunt beasts. Chen Xiang continued to refine pills and eat at the same time. Unknowingly, a month had passed, and he had also cultivated to the 10th level of the Tao S. HI plus realm. Chen Xiang walked out of the underground secret room. Ji Welan was in the middle of discussing something with a few warriors in the hall. When she saw Chen Xiang coming out, she asked those warriors to wait a bit before pulling Chen Xiang into a secret room. You're finally out. You've been in seclusion for so long. Ji Welan said. This can be considered fast. In my time, I've tried it over thousands of years and tens of thousands of years. Chen Xiang laughed. What's the matter? Yes, I have some information that might be of help to you. Ji Welan said. Right now, she was already the tribe leader of this tribe, so she would often meet with the other tribe leaders. Oh, what is it? Chen Xiang was actually very interested in this. Next door, in the Jiang clan, there is another foreign cultivator. He is an old man who arrived here about the same time as you. Chief Jiang told me that the old man was looking for a young man. I didn't say that you are here, but I'm worried that the old man is your enemy. Ji Welan was still extremely careful in this kind of matter. Do you have a portrait of that old man? Chen Xiang asked. He felt that the old man should be the natural law divine spirit Yuan Feng. No, do you have any enemies of the old man? Ji Welan asked. I did fall in with 2 friends, and one of them was an old man. It should have been him. Chen Xiang said. All right, I'll take you to the Jiang clan. Ji Welan said. Regarding Chen Xiang, Ji Welan was extremely concerned. After all, Chen Xiang had helped her a lot. No need, get someone to send a message to the Jiang clan, tell them that Chen Xiang is here, and that old man will come over himself. Chen Xiang laughed. Ji Welon followed Chen Xiang's instructions, and in less than half a day, Yuan Feng and the Jiang clan patriarch already ran over. After all, Yuan Feng was a cunning old fox. Seeing that he had gotten along so well with the Jiang clan chief, Yuan Feng knew that he must have used some tricks in the Jiang clan. After finding Yuan Feng, Chen Xiang was also happy, and so was Yuan Feng. When he saw Chen Xiang, he started laughing heartily. As expected of your luck, if you don't have the Dao Ji, D gold body, you won't die. I'm worried that you won't be able to take it. When he said through the heavenly evil abyss, the tearing force had caused him extreme pain, so he was worried about Chen Xiang. Speak from the inside. Chen Xiang brought Yuan Feng to his underground secret room. Yuan Feng chuckled. Kid, your luck with women is always not shallow. When you came here, I was already seduced by you to this kind of woman. You've been a natural law divine spirit for so long, have you never hooked up with a female G.O.D.? Chen Xiang curled his lips. There are indeed a few decent ones in the natural law divine spirit, but they are all despicable. Now, they have been killed by Yuan Xin and I. Oh right, there's still one more heaven-poisoned divine spirit that hasn't died. We can't deal with this woman. Yuan Feng thought of Du Shaoling and couldn't help but feel fear. Don't try to harm elder sister Shaoling, she has treated me well. Chen Xiang anxiously said. Really? You hooked up with her? Yuan Feng was shocked. No, I just have a good relations. I+P with her and she's a good friend. She even gave me a lot of poisons, but they were all used up by me. I used those poisons to kill 2 strong of Divine Wasteland earlier. Chen Xiang said. Yuan Feng could immediately guess that Du Shaoling must have gotten rid of the natural law Divine Lord's restraints with Chen Xiang's help, which was why he treated Chen Xiang so well. Just like how he treated Chen Xiang right now, he treated him really well, and he felt extremely grateful whenever he thought about it. Let's not talk about this anymore. Where's eldest brother Yuan Xin? Chen Xiang asked. I don't know. I was looking for him too. At that time, we were separated. Yuan Feng sighed. I never thought that this place would actually exist. Chen Xiang did not know much about the primitive land, but hearing Yuan Feng's words, he knew that Yuan Feng definitely knew a lot. What kind of PPY place is this? Can we still go back? Chen Xiang asked. This had puzzled him for a long time. Yuan Feng did not answer, but was thinking about something. Chen Xiang was not in a hurry either. He was a natural law divine spirit before, so he had a lot of things to think about. C2624. C2624, it's hard to say. This place is called Primitive Land, and can be said to be the initial state of Natural Law World and Heavenly Evil World. The reason why I didn't think that it would be sealed away and preserved is because I'm worried that after Natural Law World and Heavenly Evil World are destroyed, this world will still be able to continue on. Yuan Feng said. Then how long has this world existed for? Chen Xiang felt that not too long ago, because Ji Welon had mentioned it before that she was still very young. It's hard to say. There are no laws of time here. Even the people here sometimes pass by in a days or die from generations. In short, it's hard to say what the situation is inside here. It's best to leave here quickly. Yuan Feng said. I heard that there will be situations where the world will be destroyed. That means once the humans here have evolved to a certain degree, it will be easier to trigger the big destructive formation. Then this place will be destroyed by powerful forces, and then from a new seed, life will flourish once more. The purpose is to ensure that this place is in a primitive state of disappearance. Ji Welon had said it before. It seemed like Ji Welon and the rest of the humans would gradually leave the primal chaos dimension. At that time, as long as they managed to trigger the array inside, they would be able to recreate it. According to my observations, the humans here know that they live in the primitive land. This means that they will reach a certain level very soon. They will be able to evolve very soon and understand how to refine pills. Yuan Feng said. Of course, the reason they evolved so quickly is mainly because there are people from other realms like us here who are constantly here, and the primitive people here are extremely skilled in learning. Chen Xiang had a deep understanding of this. Ji Yuelan's learning ability was extremely fast, and was extremely easy to learn as well. If he stayed with for a little longer, he would definitely be able to learn even more things. Then how do we leave? Chen Xiang's words caused Yuan Feng to sink into silence, and even he himself did not know how to get out. What about you? Do you have any plans? Yuan Feng's smell. Of course there are. I intend to take a look at the most dangerous place. It is said that there is an extremely powerful savage beast in the most dangerous place. I think that it is the source of energy inside, which is why powerful beasts are born. Chen Xiang said, but I need to become stronger before I can go, otherwise it will be very dangerous. That isn't a bad idea. The savage beasts here are extremely powerful as well. I met some before, and it took me much effort before I managed to kill them. Yuan Feng nodded his head. So, you still have to continue refining pills, right? That's for sure. If I become stronger here, it would be much easier to deal with those guys when I'm outside. Right now, there was the heavenly evil world outside. This was an existence even more threatening than the Black Hare's human. Alright, I will continue to inquire about Yuan Xian's whereabouts. I will be staying in the Zhou tribe for some time. If you find anything, you can tell me. If I find out, I'll tell you. Yuan Feng said. And that's right. If you can obtain the beast core of a barbarian beast in the Zhou tribe, give it to me. If you don't see me, you can give it to Yulan. Chen Xiang said. Those beast cores are of great use to me. I'm still planning to go out to hunt some of them. Yuan Feng said. You have to be careful. This is the primitive land. It retains many species. With the current level of evolution of humans, the rate of evolution of the beasts here is faster than humans. And I also found out that the humans in this place appeared a little later. Maybe there are stronger human races hidden inside. It's just that we haven't found out. The primitive land is also very vast. Chen Xiang had also thought about this question before. He had also asked Ji Yuelan, but Ji Yuelan didn't really understand this. So many tribes often sent people to explore, but many of them had yet to return. Furthermore, they could not travel too far. It would be extremely dangerous for them if they went out alone, and if a group of people went out, it would be a huge loss to the tribe if all of them died. In other words, the tribes in this region do not understand this primitive land. After Chen Xiang and Yuan Feng finished their secret conversation, Ji Yuelan rushed over with a rare bright smile on her face. What is it? Why are you laughing so happily? Chen Xiang asked with a smile. My father has always been in contact with clan leader Jiang when he returned. Ji Yuelan said, there was indeed nothing more happy than to see his own father again. The valiant Ji Yuelan was now like a little girl. Chen Xiang, you are the clan leader. Can you announce to the entire clan that I am giving him the position of clan chief? My father is much stronger than me. It would be better if he could become the clan chief. Ji Yuelan said. There was no problem with that, and he could trust Ji Yuelan. He was going to meet her father with Ji Yuelan right now. Ji Yuelan's father was Ji Ding, a middle-aged man whose face was covered in a beard. He was very straightforward. Chen Xiang had only chatted with him for a short while and felt that he was a good person. At this time, Chen Xiang also called the warriors of the Ji tribe over and told them the truth. The reason why Ji Yun lost was because he used poison. And Ji Yuelan were father and daughter, and the position of patriarch was designated by the elders. As long as they were not bad people, and possessed sufficient strength, they would all agree. After this matter was settled, Ji Yuelan was extremely grateful to Chen Xiang. Yulan, I want to go out and hunt beast. I need that kind of beast core. Are you coming with me? Ji Yuelon asked. Ji Yuelon's strength was also not bad. If he had her help, it would be much easier for him. What is it? Ji Yuelon had wanted to go out to hunt beasts with Chen Xiang long ago. The sooner the better. I'll go tomorrow. Chen Xiang laughed. Right now, your father is the patriarch. Under his management, the beast meat will definitely be very abundant. You don't have to worry about the children not eating anything. All right, I'll go with you tomorrow. Ji Yuelon nodded. The next day, when Chen Xiang just woke up, he heard loud noises. He quickly got up and saw Ji Yuelon walking out from a stone room as he frowned. Something has happened, hurry up and go out to take a look, Ji Yuelon said. In a situation like this, there would normally be people coming here to cause trouble. Ji Yuelon quickly walked out of the cave, and when he arrived outside, he saw many strong wolf-riding men. Seeing this scene, Chen Xiang thought of the Zhou clan warriors that he and Ji Yuelon had killed before. People of the Zhou tribe, you barged into our Ji tribe. This is equivalent to attacking our Ji tribe. If you don't compensate us, none of you will leave today. Ji Ding said angrily as he walked out. C-2625. C-2625. As an elder of the Ji tribe, Chen Xiang was responsible for all the affairs of the Ji tribe. When someone came to make trouble, he would definitely take action. He was already prepared to take action. www.xstxt.org. There were more than 50 wolf knights, and they were all skilled warriors. In addition to the wolves they rode, their overall strength was not weak. And out of the thousands of people in Ji tribe, there were only 100 who were comparable to these wolf-riding warriors. If they were to fight, the casualties would be very heavy. Ji Ding, I never thought that you would really be back. I came to see you today. A middle-aged man riding a giant wolf came out, holding a long blade and pointing it at Ji Ding. Chen Xiang and Ji Yuelon were both surprised. They thought that these wolf knights knew that they had killed more than 10 wolf knights earlier. Even if you want to find me, you have to follow the rules. To barge in here so casually is a violation of the rules. No matter what your goal is, I will treat you as an enemy. After Ji Ding finished speaking, the warriors of the Ji tribe immediately surrounded the wolf knights. Ji Ding did not care what the other party's intentions were. In short, this method made him extremely angry, and he also decided to strengthen his defense. The great door of Ji tribe was actually smashed open by someone just like that. I've come to find you to propose for my son. My son is the #1 young warrior of our Zhou clan. He is too strong in all aspects. When he took a few women, he was tortured to death in his bed. And in our entire clan, only Ji Ding's daughter is a female warrior, and even more so the daughter of the clan leader. She is an extremely good match for my son. The middle-aged man said, If you agree, I will give you 200,000 kilograms of beast meat as compensation for invading your place. And the following. I will give you another 1 million caddies of beast meat. Wishful thinking. Ji Yuelon scoffed. Your son is not a human at all, just let him mess with the beasts. To be able to torture a woman to death in her bed, the women here all felt a kind of pain. It could be seen how brutal the son of the Zhou clan leader was to women. Zhou Lai, leave 200,000 kilograms of beast meat and you can go back. Our daughter says that she won't marry anyone. How could Ji Ding not know what Ji Yuelon was thinking at the moment? Even if he was blind, he could still tell the feelings Ji Yuelon had towards Chen Xiang. Zhou Lai was the leader of the Zhou clan and was extremely powerful. Today, he had brought a group of people to propose marriage, and the conditions he offered were extremely generous, to be rejected. This made him extremely angry, but for his son, he suppressed the anger in his heart. Ji Ding, I am only doing this to continue my bloodline. Amongst so many tribes, only your powerful daughter can take on the burden of my son. You need to be clear that after all these years, your Ji tribe has become much weaker under the command of Ji Yun. Are you sure your Ji tribe can beat us? Zhou Lai said, his voice full of threat. Finished, Zhou Lai bellowed, only hearing waves of wolf howls coming from outside the Ji tribe. We have 2,000 wolf knights outside, but your Ji tribe only has 5,000 soldiers, and your warriors only have 2,000. So, there are only a few hundred strong enough warriors. Don't tell me you want to sacrifice the entire Ji tribe for your daughter. After Zhou Lai finished speaking, he looked at the young warriors around him. These young brats will all be killed because of this. Ji Ding clenched his fist. This was indeed a big problem for him. Zhou Lai, even if our Ji tribe is destroyed, we will still kill all of you invaders. No matter how strong your Zhou clan is, without you as the clan leader, we will be utterly defeated. Many warriors gripped their spears tightly. As long as Ji Ding gave the order, they would immediately attack. Clan leader Zhou, your son is too weak to be worthy of Yulan. Chen Xiang suddenly said. Are you the elder of the Ji tribe? There are only so many ways for someone from another realm to defeat Ji Yun. I'm not afraid of you. Zhou Lai sneered. You only know how to win people's hearts. I am very clear about your situation in the Ji clan. Chen Xiang's storage bags and such had already been distributed to many warriors. Many people in many tribes knew about it and were very envious of it. That's what you think. That's right, let's return to the topic just now. I said that your son is too weak to be worthy of Yulan. As the great elder of Ji tribe, I also have a say in Yulan's marriage. Chen Xiang smiled slightly. Yulan is an outstanding female warrior of our Ji tribe. She is also recognized as the #1 female warrior by many tribes. You have admitted this yourself, so her requirements are very high. What right do you have to say that my son is not worthy of her? My son is recognized as the #1 young warrior among many clans, and is very compatible with her, isn't he? Zhou Lai pointed his blade at Chen Xiang. Tell me in the end, what do I need to do to be worthy of Yulan? At least he's stronger than me. Chen Xiang said. Stronger than you? Do I have to fight you? Zhou Lai raised his eyebrows. Since Chen Xiang was able to kill Ji Yun, his strength was definitely not weak. Chen Xiang nodded. You have a lot of tricks up your sleeves. When Ji Yun fought with you that day, he probably wasn't prepared for it, and might not be in his own state anymore either. Moreover, to be able to see a person's strength is not only based on their strength, but also their intelligence and other abilities. Zhou Lai thought for a bit, and when he said those words, it was clear that he did not want his son to fight with Chen Xiang anymore. Ji Welan was very clear about Chen Xiang's strength, so she was not worried, but she was secretly happy, because Chen Xiang was standing up for her. Then how do you think we should compete? Chen Xiang said. You have been here for quite some time. You should know how important animal meat is to us tribes. If you want to compete, then compete in terms of the speed at which you obtain the beast meat, and even more so, obtain it all by yourself. Zhou Lai said, the reason my son is publicly recognized as #1 is because he has hunted a lot of savage beasts. No problem. Chen Xiang nodded. Let's just compete in this. But before we begin, you have to leave behind 200,000 kilograms of beast meat as compensation. After all, you have invaded our Ji tribe. Exactly, if you don't compensate me, then don't even think about walking out of here. Ji Ding also said loudly. On this point they definitely could not back down, if not they would be terrified. Zhou Lai snorted angrily and then roared loudly. A few giant elephants dragged a few large carts of beast meat inside. Ji Ding walked over and stored it in his storage ring. This made Zhou Lai's eyes burn with envy. Now, can we talk about the compet? One Tian. Zhou Lai said, my son will definitely be stronger than you. You'll know if you want to compete. Anyone can say it. Chen Xiang laughed. Your son is definitely here. Why don't we start today, how about it? Hunting beast. Zhou Lai said. That won't do, you have that storage ring, my son can't compare to you. How about this, your Zhou tribe has a great reputation. You can mobilize the other tribes to build a beast battle arena, and then you can go catch some powerful savage beasts with the other clan leaders. Then, your son and I can compete with the savage beasts in the battleground, Chen Xiang said. C-26-26. C-26-26. When Zhou Lai heard this, he was also considering if he should accept. Although he said that his son was the strongest on the surface, but he was worried that he would lose to Chen Xiang. If he lost, their Zhou clan's reputation would be ruined. If you dare not compete, then please leave, Chen Xiang said. If you win, will you agree to marry Ji Yuelan to my son? Zhou Lai asked. That I can't say for sure. Marrying or not is up to me. It all depends on your own will. Even if I were to compete with your son later on, it would only prove that he is a powerful warrior. Chen Xiang said. He could not casually agree to something like that. Zhou Lai thought about it for a while, then said, All right, just wait, we will do as you say and build a beast battle arena. Then, we will see who is stronger when facing off against savage beasts. Chen Xiang's original plan to travel could only be postponed for now. In order to prepare for the upcoming compet, one Tian, he once again entered the underground secret room to refine a Taoist Emperor Dan. Ji Yuelan knew that he needed a large amount of beast cores, so he found a lot for him. These were all left behind by Ji Yun previously, and now, Chen Xiang had over 20 beast cores in his hands. The warriors of these clans are all very strong. It won't take them long to build a beast battle arena. I think it'll be completed in a month or so. I wonder how far my physical body can go by then. Chen Xiang was already at the 10th level of Dao S HI plus realm. If he were to strengthen his body, he would be able to use even more primitive Tao power. He had already informed Ji Yuelan that he would be out in a month. Right now, he was starting to refine Taoist Emperor Dan, refining and eating at the same time. He wanted to eat as much as possible within a month. Although concocting pills was boring, in order to increase his strength, Chen Xiang was extremely enthusiastic about it. Unknowingly, a month had passed and he had also eaten 15 Taoist Emperor Dan. Very good, I can use 2S from the primordial profound gate to S through the 2 stages. My strength is already very strong. After Chen Xiang tried it, he became very excited. Previously, as long as he used the primitive Tao power to pass S through the profound door, his body would be in extreme pain as if it was being torn apart. However, he did not feel any pain even after passing through the 2 Gate of Wonders. He was very satisfied with the improvement he had received over the past month. His goal was to pass the 10th layer of the primitive Tao power from the 8 primordial profound gate. He felt that if he could reach this stage, he would become a Tao sovereign and he would be able to deal with ordinary Tao sovereigns. After Chen Xiang came out, he saw Ji Yuelan training warriors in the plaza in the middle of the Ji tribe. Under Ji Yun's control, the Ji tribe had weakened greatly, and now they needed to increase their speed and catch up to him. Chen Xiang, it's been a month. How's your progress? Ji Yuelan asked. She was extremely concerned about Chen Xiang's matters, and because she had heard this month that Zhou Lai's son was truly strong, she did not want Chen Xiang to lose the compet. One Tian. A lot. Chen Xiang laughed. Did my old friend from the Jiang clan come to find me? I've come. He has brought 30 savage beast pills with him. Ji Yuelan took out a beast skin bag from his storage ring and handed it over to Chen Xiang. All right. Chen Xiang accepted it and laughed. We should have completed the construction of the beast battle arena. What kind of beasts have they caught? We caught 4 steel arm ape. The steel arm ape is an extremely terrifying savage beast, much stronger than the giant bears we encountered before. Furthermore, its intelligence is close to that of humans, and it is very similar to humans in every aspect. Ji Yuelan said, in order to capture these fellows, the patriarchs of several tribes and thousands of warriors have to work together. Chen Xiang was not afraid. His current strength had increased by a lot. His name was Zhou Tianxiang, and was Zhou Lai's only son. He looked as strong as a bear, and used 2 large blades as his weapon, which was the #1 young warrior in the entire Zhou clan. He was able to fight against more than 10 small beasts by himself. Although it was powerful, Ji Welan felt that Chen Xiang was stronger than her. She had personally witnessed Chen Xiang's power. Now they're all ready. They're just waiting for you. Ji Welan said, Chen Xiang, if you aren't ready, you can wait for a few more days to adjust yourself before going. No need, go and tell them that we can start tomorrow. At this time, Chen Xiang was extremely confident, and when Ji Welan saw his confident smile, he felt a lot more at ease. On the second day, Chen Xiang followed Ji Welan and some of the warriors from the Ji tribe to a stone mountain. This was the place where Chen Xiang and Ji Welan had killed more than 10 giant bears last time. There was a huge rock mountain here that was hollowed out in the middle. It was dozens of feet deep and wide, just like a volcano. At this moment, the mountain entrance was filled with people. There were warriors and clan leaders from other tribes. They had all partook. 1. P. aided in the construction of this Colosseum, and this was something new to them. Everyone here wars. HI plus ped power, and a place like the beast battling arena could display great power. This was not only built for the compet. 1. Tie-in between Chen Xiang and Chen Xiang, other tribes could also come here to compete more often. The Jiang clan was here as well. Seeing that Chen Xiang had arrived, Yuan Feng anxiously transmitted to Chen Xiang. Brat, you have no problems with that, right? I will go hunt those steel arm ape for them, they are indeed very strong things. No problem. Chen Xiang replied, just watch. I'm actually worried that the Zhou clan will attack the Ji tribe after losing. At that time, you can help out. Fine. I also want to see how strong you, brat, have become. Yuan Feng laughed. Chen Xiang had already seen Zhou Tianxiang, and he was indeed as strong as a bear. He already looked very scary, but a big guy like him was very popular in the tribes because he looked very powerful and mighty. Although Chen Xiang also had a tall and dy body, compared to Zhou Tianxiang, he seemed much more slim. So from the size of his body, many people felt that there was a huge difference between Chen Xiang and him. However, they thought that since Chen Xiang was able to kill this clan leader, he definitely had the strength to do so. I will now talk about the rules. This is something that I discussed with the other tribal leaders as well. Zhou Lai said as he walked over. Firstly, you must not use the power of your body. Although it is a part of your strength, it is not too fair compared to us, because our primitive land has always been sealed. Chen Xiang frowned, but still nodded his head in agreement. The so-called natural energy was also fire and thunder-type energy. C2627. C2627. Second, the weapons you use can only be manufactured by our tribe and not yours. I know that you foreign people have a lot of strange things called G.O.D. equipment and you can't use them either. Thirdly, whoever defeats the steel arm ape in the shortest amount of time will win. Chen Xiang looked down at the 4 cages hanging on the side of the beast battle arena and said, How many words of steel arm ape will you use in a fight? 2 at a time. Zhou Lai said. None of these steel arm ape were injured. They were all captured alive by traps and fed to us for a month. Our strength is about the same. All right, I have no objections. Let's start now. Chen Xiang said. Zhou Tianxiang walked over, his voice was rough. I'll go first. As he spoke, he picked up 2 long blades from the pile and jumped down. This was equivalent to entering the Colosseum. Zhou Lai was not worried about his son. He knew that his son was very strong, and nodded to an old man, who placed the 2 steel arm ape's cages down, and then opened the door. Zhou Tianxiang was already very strong, but the steel arm ape was even stronger, and twice as tall as Zhou Tianxiang. Its 2 arms were covered with stiff steel sheets, and the 2 big muscles on its chest were also extremely dysprosium. Many of the warriors present were frightened. They knew the fame of this steel arm ape. It would be very difficult for them to face this one, and it was in the beast battling arena at that. Although the beast battling arena was S.P. A size, it was very flat. Moreover, there was a large limit to how much one could run on. The terrain was not good for humans. If they were in the forest, they could use the small human body to run around in the forest. If they were in the forest, they could use the small human body to run around in the forest. Now, Zhou Tianxiang did not change his expression even when facing the 2 steel arm ape. This made many young warriors feel inferior, and they all sighed in admiration. As for the many martial immortals from the Zhou clan, they were all cheering for Zhou Tianxiang. Their shouts reverberated throughout the beast battlefield, shocking everyone. At this time, Zhou Tianxiang also crazily rushed forward, charging towards a steel arm ape. Although the steel arm ape was big, it was very nimble. Seeing Zhou Tianxiang rush, plussing over with 2 blades in his hands, it too rushed forward, and very quickly they clashed against each other. When Zhou Tianxiang's 2 long blades slashed down, the steel arm ape waved the steel arm in its hand to open them, while the other steel ring ruthlessly smashed towards Zhou Tianxiang. When Zhou Tianxiang, who was holding onto his dual blades, dodged to the side to avoid the fist, the other steel arm ape suddenly rushed forward fiercely. With a jump, it arrived above Zhou Tianxiang and threw a punch downwards. Zhou Tianxiang anxiously jumped out of the way, while the floor was smashed into pieces by the steel arm ape, sending rubble flying everywhere. All of them are very strong, Chen Xiang said, but his expression was extremely relaxed. He had already seen through Zhou Tianxiang's weakness. Although powerful, he did not have any tactics. It was Zhou Tianxiang's first time facing 2 steel arm ape, and it was currently very difficult for him to deal with them. Although he had attacked a few times, but the steel arm ape's stiff arms always opened up for him. It might not be easy to slash onto the body of the steel arm ape, but it would hit on the steel block on the chest of the steel arm ape. The steel arm ape was very smart, trying to avoid the areas with low defense from being chopped at, and the 2 steel arm ape were cooperating very well, constantly fighting with Zhou Tianxiang, looking like the steel arm ape was not paying attention at all. Very quickly, an hour had passed. Zhou Tianxiang had entered without being injured by the steel arm ape, and he was also somewhat out of breath. He had carried out numerous fierce attacks, all with great effort, but none of them succeeded. Other than that, Zhou Tianxiang used most of his power to block the fist of the steel arm ape, or to dodge the attack of the steel arm ape. Although Zhou Tianxiang did not cause any damage to the steel arm ape, everyone felt that Zhou Tianxiang was very strong, because if they were in his place, their heads would definitely be smashed into pieces by the steel arm ape's steel fist. Seeing this, Zhou Lai was also a little anxious. They had all underestimated the strength of the steel arm ape, and did not expect that dealing with 2 of the steel arm ape alone would take so much effort. Although the Zhou clan warriors had an imposing manner when they shouted, Zhou Tianxiang was still the same. He was still unable to cause much damage to the steel arm ape. "It's just a lot of hair," Ji Welon said to Chen Xiang, who was beside him. "These steel arm ape are really strong. If I were you, I would have died a long time ago." "Chen Xiang, are you really alright?" "No problem. Steel arm ape has many weaknesses." Chen Xiang watched very carefully. When he saw the way steel arm ape fought, he was even more confident. Ji Welon could only trust Chen Xiang. 2 hours had passed, and Zhou Tianxiang was already extremely exhausted. He was also very afraid of death, and he knew that if he continued to fight, he might even die. Zhou Lai clenched his teeth and threw down a metal chain, bringing Zhou Tianxiang up with him. Zhou Tianxiang being unable to kill the 2 steel arm ape made many people sigh. Everyone wanted to see the power of humans to kill steel arm ape, but Zhou Tianxiang disappointed them but everyone could understand. "It's my turn," Chen Xiang said. "Wait, these two steel arm ape have been fighting with my son for so long, they must be tired too. If you go down now and fight with these two steel arm ape, wouldn't that be a huge advantage? Moreover, you have been watching from above for such a long time, so you must be familiar with the fighting methods of steel arm ape." Zhou Lai said. He had a big opinion of this, because he never expected such an outcome to occur. "Why don't we do this and put down the other two steel arm ape? I alone will deal with the stone steel arm ape. This should be fine, right?" Chen Xiang said. When everyone heard this, they were shocked. The two steel arm ape were already difficult to deal with, let alone the four. "Brat, this compet. 1. Tian has given you so many restrictions, but you're still so confident. Don't try to be brave," Yuan Feng anxiously transmitted to Chen Xiang. Zhou Lai was actually more than happy to do that. He immediately ordered his men to put down the other two steel arm ape. Ji Ding was also a little worried, because he had caught these steel arm ape and knew how powerful they were. "Chen Xiang, you have to be worried. You saw these steel arm apes' strength with your own eyes. You have to be careful. If you can't beat them, you just have to say it out. At worst, it will be a draw, and then we can use other methods to fight," Ji Ding said. Chen Xiang nodded. "I know." He walked over to the pile of weapons and picked up a spear and a long knife. Ji Welon walked over, shook his hand, and gently said, "You must win." Chen Xiang smiled at her, then jumped into the beast battling arena. C26-28. C26-28 Chen Xiang jumped into the beast battle arena. When he landed, he saw that there was a steel arm ape jumping up. Its huge and powerful body was already gathering its energy, preparing to punch him in the air. Previously, Zhou Tianxiang only released the steel arm ape when he was going down, but now, Chen Xiang already had 4 steel arm ape down there. "Big guy, jumping into the air on your own is suicidal," Chen Xiang scoffed in his heart. The steel arm ape's huge fist came SMAs. Plusing down at a very fast speed, like a ray of black light, but Chen Xiang had already predicted when his opponent would punch, so he avoided it ahead of time. At the same time, the spear in his hand fiercely stabbed into the steel arm ape's eyes, piercing out from the back of its head. Just like that, Chen Xiang had killed a steel arm ape, which surprised everyone, especially that Zhou Tianxiang. He never expected Chen Xiang's dodging speed to be so fast, and it was even in the air, making his attack speed shocking. At least it was faster than him. This steel arm ape is really stupid. If he stayed down here, with the other 3 steel arm ape holding Chen Xiang down, Chen Xiang would not have easily gotten his way, and would have jumped into the air to attack Chen Xiang instead. His oversized body is only a target, and Chen Xiang's body is extremely small, so it would be very advantageous for him to dodge and attack, Yuan Feng said while smiling. From Chen Xiang's previous flash and strike, he knew that Chen Xiang had put in a lot of effort. Although his body was thinner than Zhou Tianxiang's, his strength was not weaker than Zhou Tianxiang's. The steel arm ape that had jumped up just now was one of the 2 that had just been released. It could have been because it saw Zhou Tianxiang's battle earlier. It was also ready to move, so when it saw Chen Xiang jumping down, it jumped up to attack him. He did not expect Chen Xiang, this skinny little human, to be so powerful. Eyes had always been the weakest place among all the beasts, and this was also the position that Chen Xiang had chosen to attack the beasts for many years. Thus, when he met with that opportunity just now, he attacked without hesitation. Chen Xiang landed on the ground, and the other 3 steel arm ape immediately shouted as they rushed over. The moment Chen Xiang's feet touched the ground, he leaped up ferociously. The 3 steel arm apes that were charging at him missed and almost hit each other. When these steel arm ape realized that Chen Xiang had jumped into the air, Chen Xiang had already thrown his spear at one of the steel arm ape below. Just now, Chen Xiang had used the primitive Tao power to pass through the second layer of the profound door, allowing his arm to gain an extremely powerful strength. When the spear shot out, it was as fast as light, piercing down from the top of a steel arm ape's head, almost causing the entire spear to pierce into the steel arm ape's body. In the blink of an eye, Chen Xiang had killed another steel arm ape. This steel arm ape was also just released from the cage, so now there were 2 more steel arm ape that he was tired of, which made it even easier for Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang landed on the ground and the 2 steel arm ape did not continue charging over. They saw that Chen Xiang had killed 2 steel arm ape at the same time, so he must be very strong. When Zhou Tianxiang saw this, he was extremely displeased. It would have been fine if Chen Xiang had killed the 2 steel arm ape that he was tired of, but Chen Xiang had killed the 2 steel arm ape that were just released. This was equivalent to slapping his face. At this point, even if Chen Xiang were to come up now, she would definitely win against him. When Chen Xiang killed the first steel arm ape, his luck was pretty good. He encountered a good opportunity, but the second time was not so. The second time he landed, the steel arm ape had already rushed over and punched out. On the other hand, Chen Xiang was still calmly jumping into the air and throwing out his spear. The power of the spear was also very strong. Zhou Lai snorted. It's mainly because the weapon my son chose was not good. If it was a lance instead. Ji Ding laughed coldly. To make a spear, you need to find a good opportunity to do something. When throwing a spear, you usually need the beasts to be still and not be vigilant, in order to be successful, especially with the steel arm ape. If they find you, as long as he uses his chest to block, the spear will be destroyed. Zhou Lai was speechless. He only snorted once. Chen Xiang held his long blade, and looked at the steel arm ape that was twice as tall as him. The steel arm ape's arms were long, and when it stood, both of its arms would touch the ground. Furthermore, the steel arm ape's entire front was a thick layer of steel armor, and its abdominal and chest muscles were extremely solid pieces of steel, which were also a position that was difficult to break through. Just as Chen Xiang was about to attack, one of the steel arm ape did something that shocked many. The steel arm ape actually rushed to the corpse of a steel arm ape and tore off the leg of the steel arm ape, and tore off its body in a few moves, then started to eat the meat inside. Steel arm ape were currently replenished, HI+ing their energy reserve. In order for a savage beast to grow stronger, they would need to hunt and eat it. The other steel arm ape rushed towards Chen Xiang and started fighting with him. Close combat is a loss. These family heads are also very nimble, their body defense is also very strong, and they are taller than me. His weakness is his head, back, and legs, but the best way to hit him is to launch a surprise attack from afar. Chen Xiang had only exchanged over 20 moves with the steel arm ape at a close distance, and already felt that it was somewhat difficult. He wanted to circle behind the steel arm ape, but the steel arm ape quickly turned around and did not give him the chance to do so. He wanted to attack the steel arm ape's legs, but the steel arm ape's steel arms were always protecting his weaknesses, preventing Chen Xiang from succeeding. And the other steel arm ape was currently eating the dead steel arm ape. It was obvious that the 2 steel arm ape were cooperating with each other. One came to support Chen Xiang, and the other went to eat and recover their energy. These guys are really smart. Chen Xiang saw that the steel arm ape was eating, and was shocked. It had actually obtained a spear. The steel arm ape ate very fast, and in a moment it had already eaten more than half of the steel arm ape's corpse, thus recovering very quickly. At this moment, its steel teeth were filled with flesh and blood, making it look extremely terrifying. The steel arm ape held onto its spear, quietly observing from the side, causing everyone's hearts to jump out of their bodies. It was obvious that it was waiting for the chance to attack Chen Xiang. With a dang sound, when Chen Xiang's blade slashed at the steel arm ape, it was actually bitten, and was even snapped in an instant. In that moment, a spear pierced over. When the spear pierced towards him, Chen Xiang could use his consciousness to grab onto the trajectory of the spear. He quickly dodged to the side and avoided the spear by a hair's breadth, if not the spear would have pierced through his skull. The long spear pierced the stone wall. At this time, Chen Xiang no longer had a weapon. His back was covered in cold sweat. It was just too dangerous. Ji Weilun and Ji Ding also heaved a sigh of relief. Many people were sweating because of Chen Xiang, and at the same time, they couldn't help but sigh in admiration at Chen Xiang's strength. Many of the tribe warriors spectating felt that they couldn't avoid such a situation. C2629. C2629. Everyone now felt that Chen Xiang should hurry up and come up. Since he had already won against Zhou Tianqiang, there was no need to continue fighting. After all, he no longer had a weapon, and the two steel arm apes worked together well. The steel arm apes that were thrown out just now had already recovered after eating their comrades' corpses. If he really couldn't persevere anymore, Chen Xiang would definitely go up. To him, this was only the beginning. He had already defeated Zhou Tianqiang, and now, he had to complete his own challenge. Other than that, he had to make Zhou Tianqiang convinced of his defeat. Only by displaying their strength would the warriors here respect them. The steel arm ape that was full of food rushed towards Chen Xiang, waving both of its arms around. Chen Xiang anxiously dodged. His speed was still very fast. During this month of closed-door cultivation, he improved a lot. Now it was time for this steel arm ape to fight him, replace the other one, and let that steel arm ape replenish its energy. These steel arm ape knew that this was the only way to defeat the human in front of them. After eating their fill, the steel arm ape's strength had increased a lot, its speed and reaction time had increased by a lot. I have to get rid of this steel arm ape as soon as possible, otherwise, when the other one is full, the pressure will be even greater. As Chen Xiang dodged, he thought about his tactic. I can only try using my formidable strength. My strength is not weak either. Chen Xiang looked at the gigantic steel fist that was SMA's HI+ing towards him, and did not dodge, but clenched his fist and welcomed the gigantic steel fist. Chen Xiang's fist was much weaker than the steel arm ape's steel fist, but when his fist landed on the steel arm ape's huge steel fist, a burst of force exploded out, producing a bang sound. That force also caused the steel arm ape's long steel arm to tremble. The steel arm ape was forced back a few steps by Chen Xiang's punch. He never expected the human in front of him to have such terrifying strength. My strength is really not weak. When Chen Xiang had used the primitive Tao power to pass through the 2 levels of profound doors earlier, his strength was obviously not weak. Furthermore, right now, he could still control the energy of the primitive Tao power to not be revealed to the outside, and could even combine the energy of the primitive Tao power together. That punch just now had shocked quite a few soldiers. That was a fist made of flesh. How could it dare to fight against a steel arm ape's steel fist that even forced it back? This kind of power made everyone exclaim in surprise. Although steel arm ape is fast, I am not slower than him. Furthermore, he is bigger than me, so compared to me, I am more agile. Furthermore, my strength is very strong as well. If I could get close, I would be able to give him a heavy blow. Chen Xiang was no longer at the mountain cliff. When the steel arm ape's chaotic punches were sent over, they were all opened by the explosive power of his punches and kick. Steel arm ape only know how to use brute force, and I have a skill that can circulate energy. I can definitely win. Under Chen Xiang's careful observation, the steel arm ape's current movement was already a little slower. This was all because when he fought back just now, his strength was too strong, causing his opponent's muscles and bones to tremble. It's about time. Seeing that the steel arm ape was about to punch, Chen Xiang activated the powerful primitive Tao power and used it to hit it. Boom! When the heaven-blasting palm struck the steel arm ape's fist, it released a shaking sound that was accompanied by a shockwave, causing the entire beast battle arena to slightly shake. Roar. The steel arm ape roared. It was a cry filled with intense pain. The heaven-blasting palm that Chen Xiang used just now had caused his fist extreme pain. Because of the pain, the steel arm ape's speed fell again, and because of the pain, that fist could not move, otherwise it would be even more painful. The furious steel arm ape subconsciously used another fist to punch towards Chen Xiang. This was also within Chen Xiang's expectations. He once again used heaven-blasting palm to strike forward, and this time, the heaven-blasting palm was even stronger than the previous one. Under the pure power of the strike, even though the steel arm ape's arm was protected by a thick layer of steel, the flesh and bones inside were still shaken to the point of endless pain, and they were also severely injured. Unable to move his arms, Chen Xiang went to the side of the steel arm ape and kicked at its legs, directly breaking its legs. Then, he kicked the head of the steel arm ape using heaven-blasting palm. With a loud bang, the steel arm ape fell to the ground. Everyone was shocked. This time Chen Xiang did not use a weapon, but actually relied on his own body to kill a steel arm ape. The other steel arm ape immediately rushed over and punched Chen Xiang ruthlessly, but was beaten up until he cried out loud by Chen Xiang using his heaven-blasting palm. In the end, it's still a beast. Chen Xiang struck the steel block in front of the steel arm ape's chest a few times, the force of the palm bringing about a strong vibration, causing the steel arm ape to retreat continuously while howling. Chen Xiang's fists and feet kept hitting the steel chunks in front of the steel arm ape's chest, causing bang sounds to ring out. The speed at which he punched out became faster and faster, and with the exchange of punches, countless of afterimages appeared. Although the steel arm ape had two thick pieces of steel on its chest, it could not withstand Chen Xiang's terrifying strength and madly attacked it. Chen Xiang's power was terrifying. Even a steel arm ape with such a strong body was unable to withstand him. The metal in front of his chest was caved in, and the steel arm ape was also lying on the ground, not dead yet. Chen Xiang panted slightly. He was also quite tired from the fight as the primitive Tao power continued to surge out from the second layer of the profound door, charging into his body, was ing away the muscles, tendons and bones in his body before releasing them. Although this placed a certain burden on his body, the moment the immense power exploded out of his body, Chen Xiang felt completely satisfied. The crowd went silent for a moment, before erupting into thunderous cheers. The warriors of these few tribes all respected the strong, and they had all personally witnessed how powerful Chen Xiang was just now. Seeing this, Zhou Lai snorted, then under the cheers of the crowd, he brought the warriors of the Zhou family and left with their tails between their legs. Chen Xiang had already defeated Zhou Tianxiang completely, and many warriors had personally witnessed this with their own eyes. Zhou Lai had previously proposed to Ji Ding on behalf of his son. At that time, he was still bragging about what kind of young warrior his son was. Amidst the cheers of the crowd, Chen Xiang and the rest left the beast fighting arena, and at the same time, the Zhou clan was reduced to a laughingstock, which made the Zhou father and son very angry. Their Zhou clan was very strong as a whole, and they wished that they could gather all their wolf riders to fight their way to the Ji tribe to S.N. A.T.C.H. the man. Of course, they only had this kind of thought. Ji tribe had such a good relations, Hi+P with the Jiang clan right now, and with such a powerful warrior, if the Zhou clan were to fight with the Ji tribe, it would definitely not end well for them. After settling this matter, Ji Yuelon heaved a sigh of relief. She was still a little worried that Zhou Lai would cause heavy casualties in the Ji tribe for her. Now that Chen Xiang had settled the matter, and even informed the Jiang clan about it, if Ji tribe is in trouble, the Jiang clan will definitely come to her aid.